Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. How are you all doing today? Why is it also quiet? Is it because it's Friday? You guys are chilling already. If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up, or you can just be in the chat. Let's have conversations in the chat also. How are you all doing today? How is everyone doing today? Okay. Dan Katz, Tank Shark. How you doing today? It's good to have you here. It's good to have you on board. So let's use the chat. If you're in a noisy environment, you don't need to unmute yourself. You could just drop a message in the chat and we can take it up from there. All right, good, FA. It's good to meet you. We're still expecting quite a number of people. Okay, we're still expecting quite a number of people. All right, Mary, David, Chris, Dan Katz, it's good to meet you. It's good to have you on board today. All right. So, Wenga, Ibele, please send reminders to the group for people to join the session. All right. But anyways, we'll start. We like to keep the time. 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock. All right. So we're going to be keeping the time. Oh, really? Dan Katz. Uh, it's good to meet you. It's good to have you here also. Don't worry, we're going to be spending some time together today and we're going to be learning, one critical, point, which is why data engineers are being paid more than any other tech role that you find out there. Your data engineers just sprang out, out of, I won't say the thin air, but it became very popular, all of a sudden. And now the demand for data engineers has skyrocketed and, everybody's requiring, they're looking for data engineers. All right. But now just to I'm still going to go into details on why data engineers currently are one of the highest paid in the tech space. All right. Well, we'll go through that today. And if you're excited to know about this, if you want to really know this, I want you to drop a yes in the chat. Do you really want to know why data engineers are being paid more than any other tech role? Yes, fantastic, fantastic. I can see the years rolling in. Okay, good, good. All right. Anyways, so welcome to a Analytics Masterclass. This is the October session that is designed to tell you more about roles in tech. And today we're going to be talking about data engineering. Okay. All right. So I'm sure some of you are joining for the first time. And while we are waiting for other people to join in, I want to know where you are joining the session, where you are joining us from. Okay. So, where are you at the moment? What country? I think I would rather just the country itself. So, are you in Nigeria? Are you in Ghana? Are you in Sierra Leone? Are you in the UK? Are you in Canada? Are you in Cyprus, Poland? Are you in Australia? All right, I have South Africa. I have Lagos, Nigeria. I have Benin City. I have Lagos. Dan Katz, where are you from? Where are you? Where are you currently? Okay. I have Thomas from Kaduna. I have Mary from Edo State in Nigeria. Any other person? Kwara State, Canada. Oluwaseun from Canada. Okay, fantastic. It's good to have you on board. Um, Sabah, Delta State, also Nigeria, Ibadan, Nigeria. Okay, we have quite a number of people from Nigeria and also lots of people from the UK also. I have someone from Sheffield. I have someone in Dubai. I have someone in the UK. All right. So yeah, it's good to meet you guys. It's good to have you guys on board today. We're going to be talking about this. Okay. Now, is it if this is your first time also I would like to meet you. Okay, so if this is the first time you're joining a analytics masterclass, all right, I want you to drop a one in the chat. Okay, if this is your first time joining a analytics masterclass, I want you to drop a one in the chat. Just a number one, drop a one in the chat so I know okay. I can see quite a number of Chris, David, Zulov, if I'm not pronouncing that properly. Okay. Quite a number of people joining us for the first time. Anyways, if you are joining us for the first time, you're joining us, this is not your first time, you know the ratio of what we go through. The first thing we'd like to tell you before we start the masterclass is I would like to tell you more about Tenalytics. Okay. So Tenalytics is an educational technology firm. And I'm not going to read the slides. I'm just going to tell you our mandate, what we are setting out to achieve. Okay. What we want to achieve is to get more Africans into the tech space. Okay. That's the long story short. We want to get more Africans interested and also want to get them into the tech space. And now, how we're going to do this is very simple. All right. Now, there's a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of misinformation out there, especially in Africa. All right, I'm Nigerian. I grew up in Nigeria. Okay, and you see that a lot of people are scared to transition into tech, and the reasons might be, very, very flimsy. Like it's too technical, it's too hard. I've heard you need a computer science degree. Oh, I heard you need a lot of certification. Oh, I heard you need a lot of experience in order for you to break into tech. There are so many rationales people have, come up with in order for them to not transition into the tech space. All right. But you see, the traditional roles are gradually, going out of demand. Okay, traditional roles like accounting or business operations or some other, business roles, receptionist and all that, and customer service, they're still existing, but down the line, these roles are likely going to go extinct. All right. And we need to upskill ourselves as Africans, in order for us to compete, not just within our local environment, but also compete globally. And that's the reason why we started analytics to sort of profile a solution to this, burning problem, whereby a lot of people are not educated enough to know that you don't need so much equipment, you don't need so much education in order for you to get a job in the tech space. It might sound it might sound like it's impossible for a start. And that's the reason why we're having the masterclass, just for you to listen and see and hear, just for you to listen and hear and digest what you're going to learn today. And I'll guarantee you that if you stay to the end of the session, you are going to learn something that you never thought you're going to learn. Okay. So that's the whole essence of we doing this masterclass. Okay. So we offer an array of training programs cutting across data analytics, business analysis, data engineering. That's what we're going to be discussing today, data engineering. So we have courses around financial analytics, HR analytics, Power Platform, and so on and so forth. Okay. And we leverage experienced professionals, people that have wealth of experience in the field to sort of come and hold you and guide you through the process of you becoming that tech bro, the tech sis that you're looking out to achieve. Okay, so that's what we do. So, there's something the popular saying back home in Nigeria, which is follow who know road, which basically translates to follow the person that knows the road. Okay, so we have experienced professionals that were like in your space, that were in your shoes a couple of years ago, that were looking to transition. So these people have gone through the hurdle of, making mistakes and all that in order for them to get their first job. Take, for example, myself, okay? I spent 2 years learning data, 2 years, two solid years learning about data, learning about data analytics, learning about data science in order for me to get my first job. Now, ideally, should it have taken me 2 years to have gotten my first job? It, Several, no. And that's because lack of mentors, lack of information, lack of guidance, essentially. And that's the reason why we started analytics, to see that you don't have to learn for such a long period of time in order for you to get your first job in the tech space. And that's the reason why we're using experienced professionals that have gone through this, hurdle in order for them to handhold you and guide you through your journey into becoming that tech bro and tech sis that you're looking at to achieve. All right. So that's what we're doing at analytics, and that's the reason why we're having the masterclass today. All right. So moving on, yeah, moving on. Who is Ifemena April? Okay, so my name is Ifemena April. For those that have listened to me for the first time, okay, so I'm the co-founder of Analytics, and I have a wealth of experience working across different aspects in the data ecosystem. All right. So I've worked as a data analyst, I've worked as a data scientist, I've worked as a data engineer, I've worked as a Power Platform developer, I've worked as a business systems analyst, a business analyst. So my experience has really covered quite a number of array of um, job titles across the UK, Ireland, US, and also in Canada. I've worked as a contractor. So that's what I do at the moment. So I do more of data analytics, data science, contractual jobs here in the UK. And I'm going to share some of those job opportunities with you to see that, you can actually get these opportunities working contractual, and you tend to earn more money working as a contractor, essentially. So that's what I do at the moment, okay? Working for firms in the UK and majorly in the US, okay? Prior to that, I worked as a business data support lead with the post office in the UK. And I've also, like I said, I worked across quite a number of job titles, okay, within the data space itself, okay. So that's me. But the good thing about, or I would say, the interesting thing is all these experiences, okay. I don't have a background. My background is in economics, so I read economics as my first degree, okay. And, transitioning from economics into the data space is something that a lot of people would find interesting. How did you get started? So my first job wasn't in data. My first job was as a consultant, a management consultant. Okay, so I was working in Lagos, Yaba, Lagos State, and I was working as a regular, just management consultant, just consulting, working for businesses, trying to develop strategy and all that. I picked up interest in data, and started learning by myself, was self-learning. Well, like I said, it took me 2 years to get that first job within the data space. And ideally, it shouldn't take you 2 years. All right. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. Some of this, strategies you can put to play in order for you to fast track your transitioning into the tech space. All right. So that's me anyways. So what are we doing today? What are we going to be talking about today? All right. So the key question here that we're going to be addressing today is why data engineers are paid more. Why are data engineers paid more than any other tech role? All right. So if you go online now and you search the word data engineer, do you know what? I'm just going to do a quick test. Okay. So you see exactly what I am talking about. Okay. I'm just going to go online. Okay. And I'm going to go to, just give me a second. Let me open. I'm just going to go online and I'm going to bring up my browser. All right. So I'm going to use, just go to read.co.uk. So this is just a regular site here in the UK for people looking for jobs, data engineer. All right. All right. And let's just say, I won't put a postcode, just leave for data engineer. All right. So you see quite a number of them. And you see data engineer, this is 50 to 70,000 pounds. This is 450 to 475 pounds per day. Now, these are things that you'll think that, oh, people are earning in a week. This is what someone is earning in a day. And this is a contract job. I mentioned earlier that you get more pay working as a contractor within the UK, even the US and Canada. You get more pay working as a contractor. But anyways, so you see, data engineer 50 to 70, data engineer 65 to 70, data engineer 40 to 65. And you see this you can see you are not seeing anything within the range of 35, 40. And this is just regular data engineer roles. I won't say regular, all right, but these are just, so I would say entry level or beginner, anything that doesn't have a senior or doesn't have a particular stack attached to it is a regular role. Okay. So you see data engineer, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 40 to 55. And these are roles that one can actually latch into. And this is just one job site. The other job site I'm going to show you where you can get all these kind of roles. Okay. So one of the ones, especially where I'll talk about that. I don't want to start with that anyways. I'm not going to start with that. But just to tell you, just to expose to you that why are these guys, why are data engineers, why are they being paid more? Why are they special? That's the key question. Why are they special? All right. Does anybody want to guess? Let me see. Let me see. Does anybody want to guess why they are special? Do you know why they are being paid more? Does anybody know? Let me see. Let me try. I like to give out stuff when I'm doing my sessions, yeah. So if you get my questions correctly, yeah, I promise you something fantastic. So why do you think data engineers are being paid more? Does anybody want to answer that in the chat? Or if you want to unmute yourself, just raise up your hand and I'm going to unmute you. Okay, so you can answer the question. It is a data-driven world, data rules. David, you are, I would say 60% correct. Okay, so very close. I think it is because of organization. I think it is because organization make decisions with data. Very, very close, very similar to David as Adewale. Because they deal more with data. Everybody, yes, because of the word data engineer. Yes, they deal a lot with data. Okay. All right. Let me take one person to speak. Gabriel. Let me take one person. Gabriel, I'm asking you to unmute so you can speak. Yeah. Data
Yeah,
engineer. Yes, Gabriel, go ahead, please.
thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Thank you, everyone. It has been an impressive session so far. Data engineer as a case study here, like why are they important to the economy right?
Okay.
Yes, they're important data tools. Like all these tools we are using, like SQL, they develop it. Like data developer, like SQL developer, Power BI developers, and like another data engineer doesn't really know more about coding. Data engineers, they deal a lot with coding to build
Okay. I think
systems used
Gilbert.
for data analysis. That's what I think is data engineering is all about.
Yes, your network actually threw you off a couple of times, but I think I got the question. I got your answer. Yes. I think it's absolutely correct. You guys are very correct, but there are certain things that you're not taking into consideration. And that's the reason why that would happen is because you really don't understand the role of a data engineer. That's why you don't know why they're being paid so much. So I'm going to explain that as we go on, okay? So why are data engineers? That's the first thing we're going to be looking at today. Why are they giving them so much money? All right. Why are they giving them so much money? So number two, the pathway to becoming a data engineer and you securing a job. So a lot of people feel like they can't become data engineers, or they feel like it's too technical, or they feel like, it requires a lot of learning in order for them to get started. Well, anyways, that's what we're going to be talking about today. What is the pathway? How is it? How can you do it in faster duration in order for you to become a data engineer? All right. Now, the third one we're going to be talking about today is remote full-time and tech relocation opportunity. Now, everybody doesn't want to relocate. Yes, fine, that's good. You want to stay within your local environment and earn in foreign currency. That's perfectly okay. So we're going to be also talking about remote full-time opportunities and also tech relocation opportunities, if that's what excites you. Okay. And number four, if you wait till the end of the session, now this is for people that wait till the end of the session. Okay. So if you wait to the end of the session, you get to hear about a special offer I have for you. A special offer I have for you. And number five is Tenalytics Growth Internship Program. Now, the Tenalytics Growth Internship Program is one of the reasons why we have so much success in getting people jobs remotely, physically, or within your immediate environment. All right. So I'll talk more about that, if you wait to the end of the session so you can learn more about the Tenalytics Growth Internship Program. Okay, so these are the five things I'm going to be learning today. Why data engineers are being paid more, the pathway to becoming a data engineer, remote full-time and tech relocation opportunities, the special offer, okay, for people that wait to the end of the session, okay, and the last but not the least, growth internship program, the Tenalytics Growth Internship Program. So if you are ready, if you're ready to learn more today, to hear about all these exciting things, I want you to put a yeah in the chat. Put a yeah, not yes. Yeah, and you get me. All right, let's go. So if you're ready to learn more about all this that we're going to talk about today, put a yeah in the chat. You get okay, yes, yeah. All right, let's go. I love your energy, guys. I love your energy. Let's keep it going. Okay. So classes are not supposed to be very, me talking every time. I know, obviously, because of decorum, I'm muting everyone. Okay. But let's use the chat to interact with one another. Use the chat to talk. Let's talk today. I love what I'm seeing here. I love all the interactions. Fantastic. Let's keep it going. So now let's start. Yeah, let's start with number one. Why data engineers are being paid more? Why are they being paid more? All right. Why are they being paid more? Why are they singling out just one career path and say, do you know what? We'll use money to finish you. Have you seen that kind of thing before? Yes, it's a job, but we'll use money to spoil you. You will enjoy yourself. Now, the key question before we go in depth as to why they are being paid more, we need to understand the role of a data engineer in the organization. What is the role of a data engineer? Okay, the word data is there and the word engineer is there, and they combined it together and they gave it what? Data engineer. Now, does anybody want to try? Just one person. I'll just take one person. Does anybody want to try to explain the role of a data engineer? Now, a lot of people come up and throw the word data pipeline, data pipeline, data pipeline. Well, it's more than that. Okay. Who is a data engineer is the question. So who wants to try? Who wants to try? Who wants to try? Who wants to try? Let's go. Nobody's trying. Yes. All right, no problem. If you don't want to try, that's okay. I'll still explain it regardless. Okay. All right. So let's start with this critical question before we go in depth into before we go in depth into why they're being paid more, we need to really understand the role of a data engineer in an organization, in any organization. All right. So let's start. Now, taking forward, well, I'm going to be using my personal real life, my own experience, myself. Okay, myself. I'm going to be using my own experience to explain the role of a data engineer. Okay, so I've adjusted some of this. I've adjusted the name of the organization. I've adjusted some things within the within the case study. But regardless, you are still going to understand exactly what we're talking about. All right. So, like I said, this is my own personal experience. Okay, and I'm going to be talking about Teller Bank Nigeria. Okay, it could be Teller Bank UK. It could be Teller Bank Saudi Arabia. It could be Teller Bank Dubai. It could be Teller Bank anywhere. Just use your own, use your discretion. The location at your discretion. All right. So we're going to be talking about Teller Bank Nigeria. Okay. TBN for short. Okay. It's a well-established financial institution that provides a range of banking services cutting across retail banking, corporate banking, investment banking, digital banking, and so on. Okay. So they are domiciled in Nigeria. Okay, they offer financial services for customers across Nigeria. It's a regular bank, okay? And that's what they do. They offer financial services to their customers, cutting across retail, corporate, investment, and digital banking. Now, there's something going on with this bank. There is something going on. So TBN is currently facing a significant challenge. And this is just, I don't want to read the slide, okay? I will explain from my own experience so you understand a lot better. So there's something going on with TBN Bank, which is Stellar Bank, okay? Something is going on. And the issue now, the current issue is, in terms of if you know anybody working in a bank, there's something you call MPR, monthly performance review, okay? They call it monthly performance review. So this is where at the end of the month, okay, everybody across different branches, different locations will come into the head office or a particular location to come and talk about their branch performance. Oh, in my branch, we had a total transaction of 5 billion. We had a target of 100 customers, but we're able to achieve 500 customers. You come and tell them about every branch, every location comes to tell about the performance of their own branch. Okay, so every branch will come and if they don't meet their targets, there are issues. If you met your targets, there's a reward that comes with it. So those are the things that the bank operates on. But you see, there was an issue whenever people come to report their numbers. There was always an issue when people come to report their numbers. And that's because, the monthly performance review, if you know anybody working in the bank, it's a very, very tough environment. Okay. So a lot of people like to, make their numbers, readjust their numbers, or what they call re-engineer their numbers. Okay. And that's because every branch is keeping their data by themselves. Okay. Everything is decentralized. So branch keep their data. Every transaction that happens for the day, they will manually enter it into the system. Do you understand? Everything is manual. Everything is, every branch is doing their operations by themselves. It's not digital. All right. So you see, the branch in Sokoto will come. Okay, the state coordinator in charge of Sokoto, all right, will come to the head office and say that we can boast of a total transaction of over 7 billion. This is, I'm heading there, okay? So you can see the state coordinator is coming in to say that total transaction last month, I can boast of what? 7 billion naira, that's our total transaction for last month. All right. The headquarters will say that you are quoting 7 billion in your report, okay? But in our own report, okay, we are only seeing 5 billion. We're only seeing 5 billion. So where is the extra 2 billion that you've added? So you see, there is what we call data discrepancy between the head office and the state coordinator in Sokoto. There's data discrepancy. All right. The other one in Lagos State will come in again and say that, oh, we exceeded our target for last month. Okay. So we had a total transaction of 100 billion naira, and but everybody's clapping for the state coordinator. And HQ, which is head office, headquarters, we say The total transaction recorded in our books is about 80 billion. So there's a difference of what? 20 billion. Another issue. Another what we call data discrepancy. All right. So you see, everybody, their numbers are not matching across different states, different regions. The same thing, Borno State. Borno said, state coordinator is saying we did 900 million. Headquarters is saying you did 700 million. Cross River State, state coordinator will come out to say that we did 1.2 billion. Headquarters is saying you did a total, you did under 900 million. So you see, all these things is what we call data discrepancy. So what you're saying in one location is different from what you're saying in another location. So there is no communication. There is lack of communication, data communication between different systems within the same organization. This is the same bank, TBN, Teller Bank Nigeria. It's the same bank. It's not different banks. But you know, they have different operations. They have different branches across Nigeria. All right. But you see, the fact that they have different branches across Nigeria doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a centralized place where you can find out the true answer. Now, in this scenario now, HQ, state coordinators and HQ, they were always having issues. Oh, we did 7 billion. How did you get your own numbers? Headquarters will say that we have all the data, we have all the information, we have everything in head office. It's only if you do not send it to us, then we don't have it. You know, there's always this back and forth between the state coordinator and headquarters. So it was a very big issue in the bank, okay? Within this particular bank. It was a very big issue. And the CEO, the CFO, they were all brainstorming to find out how can they solve this issue of data discrepancy between state coordinators and HQ. Okay? So what now happened here? So as a result of this particular issue, as a result of this issue, this data discrepancy, analytical, when you do analytics, it's usually it's usually very wrong. All right. All right. The data you're getting from the data that you're using is usually incomplete. Okay. Is it either incomplete or it is duplicated or there are sort of errors in the report. Okay. So there are so many errors. There are so many issues with the data. So even when you do analytics, it's making no sense because what the HQ is getting is slightly lesser than what those guys in the States are reporting. So there's that discrepancy. So analytics is not going to make any sense. If you're going to even make any decision based on those numbers, it's going to be wrong. It's going to be a decision based that is on a very wrong foundation. Okay, it's like you building a 5-story a skyscraper on a foundation that is meant for a bungalow. Do you understand? And that's because the data that you're making a decision on, okay, is wrong. Take, for example, you want to leave your house and you're going to Lekki, you're going to the island, Lagos Island, all right? And you went on your map, on your Google map, okay? And you type in the location to see how long it's going to take you. And the map tells you there is no traffic on the way. So it's putting maybe 20 minutes by driving. 20 minutes by driving, fantastic. Then you enter into your car and you start to drive and you find out that on your way, okay, there is traffic on the way. And now, rather than it taking you 20 minutes, it's taking you 2 hours to get to the same location. So you see, you made a decision, okay, based on the premise that, something is going to work out, but eventually doesn't work out. So you see, the bank was having this issue. They will come up with strategies based on data, and you find out that it doesn't work out for the business. So there was this, big issue within the bank, with the bank's data. All right. Now, let me ask you this question. Who do you think will solve this problem? Who do you think is going to solve this problem? Is it a data scientist? Obviously, they have a data scientist. They have a data analyst. They have a software developer. They have a data engineer. They have a business analyst. Who will solve this problem? Okay, who is going to solve this problem from your mind, all right? Who do you think is going to solve this problem? Let me ask you guys. Data engineer, data scientist. Malcolm is saying data scientist. How will a data scientist solve this problem? I think a data analyst. Interesting. Okay, someone is saying D, data engineer. Okay, data engineer. Okay, all right, all right, yeah. So who do you think is going to solve the problem? The software developer, all of them. Technically, if you put it in real sense, it might be all of them, to be honest. But for this particular critical problem of data discrepancy between state coordinators and the headquarters, all right, that particular problem is going to be solved by the data engineer. That singular problem is going to be solved by the data engineer. Now, look at what Kofi Annan said, okay? He said, without good data, we are flying blind. If we can't see, if you can't see it, you can't solve it. If you can't see it, you can't solve it without good data. You see, that good data, that word, that's the word there, good data. Without good data. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Now, the state coordinators are quoting within 500 billion. Headquarters is saying you did 200 billion. There is a discrepancy. Who do you believe? The state coordinator or the head office? Who do you believe? Most times they'll go with head office because they won't believe that the head office they all have the right numbers. Okay. But just take it for a second that the headquarters, I mean the state coordinators are actually quoting the right numbers. So if you have that discrepancy and you're going with 200 billion instead of 500 billion, okay, you see there is an issue already there. So if you're going to be if you're working with bad data, you're likely going to be coming up with bad recommendations. You're going to be coming up with bad strategies. So strategy is dependent on good and quality data. And that's where you start to hear people shouting data quality, data governance, and so on and so forth. Good data, you having good data within the organization is going to transform the data. It's going to literally take your business from ground level to the topmost level. You having the right data. And that's what Kofi Annan said. Without good data, we are flying blind. If we can't see it, we can't solve it. It's a simple thing. All right. So in the business, if your business currently, if you don't have the right data, you will never be able to see potential issues within your organization. And that's the reason why good data, quality data is so much important within an organization. So now let's talk about how a data engineer, the data engineer is literally going to fly inside this problem, okay? Like the superhero that he is, okay? We're going to fly inside so that without me, how would you guys live, okay? The data engineer is literally going to come in and say that without me, how would you guys survive? How would you guys strategize? So the data engineer said essentially is a critical role, all right? It's a crucial role that would address this problem. Now, a lot of you are asking why in the chat, and I'm going to explain it, okay? So just to give a brief introduction about who a data engineer is, okay? Data engineers are specialists that design, first of all right? They design, they build, and they manage the infrastructure and systems necessarily to collect, store, process, and analyze data. So you see these guys here, this guy, let me tell you, when somebody is in the middle and it's coordinating set, in a chorus, what do you call it? If you've ever seen an orchestra, all right, you have a coordinator that is in front, that is telling the trombone person to increase volume. It's telling this person to increase theirs. It's telling another person to reduce theirs. That's like a data engineer. Build, design, manage the infrastructure and systems that collect, store, process, and analyze data. So you see, there are so many things involved in this singular role. Okay. Now let's talk about how the data engineer is going to solve the problem. Okay. Let's talk about how the data engineer is going to solve this potential problem within the organization. Now, this is before the arrival of the data engineer. This is before. I'm going to give you a scenario before, and I'm going to give you a scenario after the introduction of a data engineer. Now, for transaction in every organization, in any bank, we have ATM transactions. All right. We have ATM transactions. We have POS. We have web application. we have mobile app. So today you have the convenience of initiating a transaction from multiple sources. First of all, you can go to the ATM to withdraw cash. You could go to the ATM to pay cash. All right, these are all transactional data, okay? If you go outside, you could use POS to withdraw cash. You could use POS to make payments, so on and so forth. All right. Same thing with the web. You can go on the web application and do the same thing, initiate a transaction, either to send money or to receive money or whatever the case is. The same thing with your mobile app. But all these are different systems. They are different systems. ATM is different from POS. POS is different from web app. Web app is different from mobile app. These are all distinct applications. All right. So you see, they are all distinct applications. So you see, the data from POS, the data from from ATM is going to go into a centralized location for ATM. Let's call it ATM database. All right. So all that transaction from ATM, you go and withdraw money in the ATM. You go and pay somebody money through using the ATM. All right. Everything is stored inside a database called ATM database within the bank. If you use POS to make a transaction, either to withdraw money or to pay money or whatever the case is, that transaction will go to POS transaction database. Okay? Web app is going to go to web app database. Mobile app is going to go to mobile app database. So currently in this organization, just for transaction alone, we have 4 databases. We have 4 database: ATM database, POS database, web app database, and mobile app database. So we have 4. Now, without a data engineer, now currently data engineers don't exist in this organization. We don't have any data engineer. So we only have a data analyst. And you can see the frustration that the data analyst is going through. Like, why? Why is my computer slow? Why is this thing acting up? Why am I not getting the right answer? Why am I not doing what am I doing wrongly? All right. And eventually, you're trying to find a way to work without the data engineer, and you always get that data error. Okay. And that's very simple. The major reason why you will get that data error is because you're connecting directly to a live database, first of all. You're connecting directly to a live database, right? The volume of transaction, okay? A normal system is likely going to crash just connecting to, a live database that is involving a lot of data, what we call big data. So we're in the era of what we call big data. And because of this big data, it is technically impossible, all right, for your local machine, local system connected to these databases, okay, ATM, POS, web application, mobile application database, and think that your system is going to be able to manage that big data. So you see a lot of times that your computer will crash, just like this guy over here, and you will end up throwing your system away because you're already at 99%, thinking that it will eventually go, and you find out error. Okay, you find out your system has finally crashed or something. Okay, and that's how you get vexed up and you throw your computer away. But that's there before the arrival of a data engineer. That's before the arrival of a data engineer. Now, to avoid this complex system, to avoid this, this very, very chaotic system, okay, that's where a data engineer comes in. You have the data moving into the database, okay? ATM transaction go into ATM database. POS transactions go into POS database. Web application goes into web database. Mobile application goes into mobile database. All right. Now, what would the data engineer do? All right. This is what the data engineer would do. Okay. So the data engineer comes inside, like, the superhero flies inside and does what we call ETL pipelines. Okay. We'll design what we call an ETL pipeline. We'll design what an ETL pipeline. Okay. Now, this ETL pipeline, what's an ETL pipeline? ETL is an acronym for people that are hearing for the first time. ETL is an acronym that stands for, okay, extract, transform, and load. Extract. E for extract. T for transform. L for load. E for extract. T for transform. L for load. It's as simple as that. So if you sing with me, all right, you guys, sing with me. E for extract. T for transform. L for load. If you sing it several times, you probably memorize it also. All right. So, okay. So moving on to the next thing here, it will design what we call an ETL. Okay, an ETL pipeline. Now, what does ETL stand for? Like I said, extract. The first thing there is to extract. Number one, all right, is what we call extract. So the data engineer will build what we call a data pipeline. They call it a data pipeline. So basically, you see how this thing, this arrow moves from here and moves into this place. Okay, that's what it means. All right, you build like a pipe that will connect, you know, to the database. Let's say the ATM database. All right. The first thing the data engineer will do is to extract the data from the database. Okay, would extract the data from the database. Now, the next part is to transform the data. Number two, transform the data. That's to clean it up. Okay, to clean it up. So all those places where you have missing values, where you have erroneous data, where you have duplication, where you have missing values, duplication, errors, miscalculations, and all those kind of errors, the data engineer will clean it up. Just take this as it's very simple. Okay, this process is very simple. Just imagine you want to cook a food, you want to cook jollof rice. All right, you want to cook jollof rice. So you go to the market to extract the ingredients that you want to use to cook the food. Okay. You want to extract the ingredients that you want to use to cook your jollof rice. Okay. So when you go to the market, you buy tomatoes, you buy your pepper, you buy, your rice, you buy your stock, you buy your meat and all that things, and you bring it into the house. These things are raw information, they are raw data, they are raw materials. Okay. So the data engineer connecting to that database and extracting that data, it is raw. All right. It is raw, it is scattered, it is all over the place. Okay. So what would you do? In order for you to cook your jollof rice, you need to wash your pepper, your tomatoes, you need to wash the meat, you need to clean it up. That's the transformation phase. All right. So the data engineer also needs to transform the data. So clean it up, remove all the things that is not supposed to be there, and keep what that is supposed to be there just by itself. And eventually, the data engineer will load the database, will load it. Okay. All right. The third thing the data engineer will do is to load that data into a database. So extract from all the four database, clean it up, and drop them into what we call a data warehouse. Okay. Now, if you're new to this, okay, a database, somebody's asking a question around what is a database? Okay. A database is basically where you store data. A database is where you store data. Now, take for example, you personally, take yourself for example, where do you keep your shoes? You see that there is a place where you keep your shoe. Even if you don't have a shoe rack in your house, you see one corner of your room, you will design it in a way that this is where you put your shoe, even if you don't have a shoe rack. So that's where you keep your shoes. All right. If you don't finish your food, where do you keep it? You keep it in the refrigerator. There's a place for you this is where you keep your information, your stuff, your leftover foods and all that. Your money, where do you keep your money? You keep it in a bank. Okay, or you put it inside a piggy bank. There's a place where you keep the money. You're going outside, you have a wallet where you keep your cards, and all this. So you see, places are designed for you to keep stuff. Your clothes, you have a wardrobe, you have a closet, your porch, your pan. There are all this, there's a pantry where you keep all these things. There is a reason why you have a place that stores this, the materials that you keep. Now, in an organization, for example, where do you think they keep their data? Okay, this data that they're generating, where do you think they keep the data? A database. So a database is designed in a way for them to keep data secured. Okay, your food, your leftover food, you put it in the freezer. You see, it is secured in the freezer, unless you have a very muscular rat that can open your freezer, enter, remove the plates, and eat it. That's your money too secured in the bank. It's security. The reasons why you have that database structure is to safeguard your data. okay, the business data. All right. So you see that's database. Now, this on the other hand, okay, the data engineer is going to take the data from the database, raw data from the database, clean it up, and put it inside what we call a data warehouse. Now, you'll not be asking yourself, you just mentioned database. You're talking about data warehouse again. Which one is data warehouse? What is data warehouse? You'd ask yourself. Database is used for storing data. Okay, it's used for storing data. Data warehouse, on the other hand, okay, is also a type of database. Okay, the only difference is that data warehouse are optimized for analytical purposes. All right, it is optimized for analytics, and that is where the data scientist and the data engine and the data analyst will be connecting the data to. They'll be connecting to the data warehouse rather than connecting to the database. So now the data engineer has made life easier for the data analyst and the data scientist. You know, before in the previous scenario, there was always crashing, there was always data error and all that, where the data analyst even went as high as taking the PT and throwing it away, like frustrated. Okay. Now the data engineer has taken so much stress away from the data analyst and the data scientist. All right. The data engineer is that person in the middle now that would fetch the data, okay, that will clean the data, which is to transform, and load it into a data warehouse. Like I said, a data warehouse is optimized for analytics. Can somebody say analytics? Can you say analytics? Okay. All right. So that data warehouse is optimized for analytical purposes. And I want you to say that way because if you don't say that way, you won't get it. Analytical purposes. All right. So you see that's exactly what it is. Extract data from the database, clean raw, dirty data, raw and dirty data, clean it up, okay, and put it inside a data warehouse. Okay. The data warehouse, like I said, is optimized for analytics. Okay. So the data analyst will now connect to the data warehouse and start to do their visualization. See all those dashboards that they build up and down, and you see, oh, I just finished building my dashboard. I just finished building my reports. The data scientist, oh, I just did my predictive modeling. I just did machine learning. I just did this. I just did that with data. Without the presence of a data engineer in the organization, okay, they won't be able to do those activities. You see all those dashboards, communicating insights, communicating strategies, communicating key performances, what they call KPIs within the organization. Without the presence of a data engineer, you will likely not get accurate data that you use for those purposes, for those analytics, those dashboards. So that's where a data engineer comes in. And you see, all right. So going back to what Kofi Ann said, okay, let me just go back. Okay. Without good data, okay, we are flying blind. If we can't see it, we can't solve it. So the data engineer is this person, okay, that ensures you get good data. Okay. The job of the data engineer is that your data is clean, proper, correct, of good quality. Okay. In order for that data analyst and the data scientist to do all the analysis, all their visualization, all their machine learning. Okay. It's the role of that data engineer to provide good and quality data. Now, does that make sense? If it makes sense, can you give me a yeah in the chat? Yeah, let's go, let's go. If it makes sense, put yeah in the chat. All right, let's go. Somebody saying yeah. It's not yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go. All right. So it's a yeah. Let's go. So you see, that's the role of a data engineer. Okay. Does this process, address the problem of discrepancy in the exactly? Yes, it will. Absolutely. So you see all the transaction that is happening across different regions, across different states and all that. Okay. The data engineer will build what you call a data pipeline connecting to all these various sources. All right. So rather than, the headquarters relying just on the state coordinators to supply those information, the data engineer will connect directly to your systems, okay, and pull that data into the head office systems, okay, and ensure that everything is sort of consolidated in one central location. So connect to the ones in Sokoto, to Bauchi, to everything, and pull in everything into one central location. So at every point in time, all right, the CEO, the CFO, the branch coordinators, the state coordinators, everybody can see it in near real time that this is my performance. You see a dashboard that will tell you performance of, you can click on your states and you see how many transactions you've had. You can see how many customers you've brought in, so on and so forth. So that's the role of a data engineer. That's harmonization, that's, harmonizing the data within the business, connecting to various data sources, bringing them inside, and ensuring that they are clean, usable for analytics, and so on and so forth. All right. So yes, so data engineer is the plumber for all other data professional. Exactly. So plumber, for you guys that don't understand the joke here, a plumber is a person. Who's a plumber? A plumber is a person that builds pipe, that he works with pipe, basically. All right. So you have let's say you have a water source outside. Okay. So you have like a well or a borehole or whatever the case may be. It's the plumber that would ensure that the water in that borehole is flowing properly in your kitchen, in your bathroom, and any other places that you need, water. Now, you see, that's exactly, and how does the plumber do that? Okay, he uses the pipe, connects several pipes together to ensure that the water from the borehole runs in the kitchen, and so on and so forth. Okay, so yes, that's the role of a data engineer. And you see, going back to it, we need good data. Every organization is in need of what we call good and quality data. All right. Without that good and quality data, the business is what? Flying blind. They are flying blind. If you think you made 500 million, or in the actual sense, you only made 200 million. The reason why we are quoting 500 million before was because you had a lot of duplicates in your data, and you were thinking you're making 500 million, when in the real fact, you're only making 150 million or 200 million. All right. So you see, all those things will be avoided if you have a person within the team that ensures data quality, the data that you're using is of good quality, and so on and so forth. So now let's talk about why data engineers. Okay. So being the fact that now the job role, who a data engineer is, let's talk about the raw fact. Why do you think why data engineers are being paid more than other tech roles? Now, the first on the list is what we have: specialized skill set. Specialized skill set. Now, prior to now, okay, now where you have, I think the what do you call it, the sort of the supply of data engineers at the moment is gradually increasing. It's gradually increasing. Prior to about, let's say, a year, 2 years ago, okay, the only data engineers that you'll find were experienced data scientists and experienced software developers. The only data engineers you'll find before, let's say a year, 2 years ago, the only data engineers that you'll find are people that have experience as data science, as a data scientist, or software developers. Those are the two people. But obviously, the demand for data engineers grew exponentially. There was a high demand. All right. But you see the supply, there was less supply. Okay. So you see that because of that discrepancy. Okay. Because of that discrepancy, demand for data engineer was high, the supply was very low. Okay. And the specialized skill sets is not everybody. Data analysts, they're good with SQL. Some of them are not very good with Python. All right. So they're using Power BI, Tableau. Data analysts are doing all their analytical visualization and so on. But now this person, a data engineer, is somebody that works majorly with two tools, two very essential tools, which is Python and SQL combined together. So it's Python and SQL that you're going to use to build that data pipeline. So it's not physically pipe. It's not like you carry pipes to the office to be, building pipe, okay, or digging the floor and all that. No, The pipeline that you're going to build, okay, is using Python and SQL. Okay, SQL, if for beginners, is what we call structured query language. Okay, so those are the two, skill set, essential skill set that you need as a data engineer. All right. So you see, you still have to also have other knowledge of of databases, of data processing frameworks, data modeling, and some other essential skill sets that you need to know about. Okay. So that specialized skill set, okay, is what sort of first of all, segregated them. Okay, you need to have this skill in order for us to even talk to you in the first place. And majority of the people didn't have those skill sets, or they are them singular, not combined together. So I know how to use Python, but I don't know how to use Python and SQL together. So you needed to learn how to combine those two together. Okay. All right. So the second part of it is the high demand. I gave a hint already on the high demand. Data engineers, the demand for data engineers just went up. And that's because of, the relevance of the role within the organization. A lot of organizations started to see that, these guys are quoting wrong numbers. The data analysts, data scientists, all the numbers that they're quoting is not matching up with what we expect or what it should be. Okay. So they needed somebody in the middle that would sort of, be responsible for this data transformation, the extract, transform, and load process of you cleaning up the data, ensuring the data is in the right place. Everybody in the organization can connect to that place and start to do their reporting and so on. All right. So that demand increased. Okay. But the supply, like I said, was very small. So only just a few chunks of people had experience on how to do the job of a data engineer. All right. But you see now the demand is still there, okay, and the supply is it's just gradually, moving, okay. It's not exponential, I would say, okay. It's more arithmetic in nature. So the demand is still going exponentially. It's just going, it's increasing. All right, but the supply is still what is still not matching up with the demand, and that's why the salaries are still very high in order for them to attract the best set of guys into their team. Okay. Now, critical business impact. Okay. Critical business impact, which is talking about without good data, you are doing what? You are flying blind. It's just the honest truth. Without quality data, you are flying blind. So that's critical issue of, we need good data to make good strategic decision making. All right. So because of that single part, okay, the role of a data engineer is very, very significant in business operations. Okay. The second part of it, responsibility for data integrity and security. So safeguarding the data, business data, keeping it in the right place, ensuring that anybody within the organization can have access to it. People that don't have that required and doesn't have the credentials in order for them to have the access to the data, they shouldn't have access to that data. So basically providing data integrity and what we call data security. And the last but not the least is complexity of the task. Okay. Data engineer is a very specialized role. It's very specialized in the sense that it's not everybody that knows how to use Python or SQL or can just take up the role. Okay. It's a specialized role, okay, with a little bit of complexity in the role of a data engineer. So you see, the data engineer is responsible for creating and managing data pipelines that enables the data analyst, the data scientist to work with data effortlessly and effectively. So you see, this ETL process requires a little bit of technicality and complexity, all right, that a lot of people want to run away from. Okay, that ideally would chase a lot of people because it is slightly more technical. Oh, I'm going to be programming. Oh, I'm going to be using SQL. I don't like to, all those things. And that's why a lot of people feel like it's too difficult to break into. A lot of people run away from it because of that slight complexity. But you see what? That's the reason why we develop a training curriculum. Okay, the data engineering training curriculum, okay, which will make you become a data engineer in 3 months plus. Okay, 3 months plus. And you'll be wondering, how is that possible? Don't worry, I'm going to explain it to you. Okay. So it's what, and it comes with 1 month free internship. It comes with 1 month free internship. So it's a 3 month plus training program that will take you from 0 to 100 in data engineering. Okay. So you see, it's 100% online, on 100% online learning, virtual instructor led, meaning that you would have someone like myself experience, okay, that would hold you and guide you through the process of how you can learn data engineering. Okay, it's going to be hands-on practical session. I'm going to show you some of the things that we've done in previous class, so you see exactly what you get from going through the training program. Hands-on practical session. You would learn how to program in Python. You will learn how to work with SQL. You will learn how to work with AWS, GitHub. You'll get to work with all these technologies that you see and you hear on a daily basis. You get to work with them, building real life practical, using real life practical case studies. Okay. All right. Now, another good thing about the training program is that you have lifetime access to materials and experts. You have lifetime access to materials and the experts. So you see the facilitators and the people that are going to work with you, they're literally going to hold your hands and guide you through the process of how you can also become a data engineer. All right. So like I said, it's you having to work with people that have been in your shoes before and literally holding your hand and guide you through loopholes. All right. Rather than you falling into those loopholes, they guide you through them in order for you to get exactly what you're looking for. So you are going to be working with over 30 classes and you'll be covering over 50 topics. I'm going to share these topics with you, and I'm also going to share the classes with you as we go on. So you're going to be covering end to end all the essential things you need to learn in data engineering. So the average salary of a data engineer in Nigeria is currently 9 million naira per annum, is per annum. Okay, and in the UK, the average salary is 52,000 plus pounds. Okay, 52,000 plus pounds per annum. Okay, this training program, you're going to add 10 projects to your portfolio. So you're going to be working with quite a number of technologies. You're going to be working with Python, you're going to be working with SQL, you're going to be working with GitHub, you're going to be working with AWS. I'm going to explain all the technologies you're going to work with. And in all these technologies, you are going to be, building projects in these technologies, using these technologies rather. Okay. So we're also going to be working with 100% job visibility. Okay. I'm very sure you'll be asking yourself, the whole essence for most people learning a new skill is not just for the fun of it. Okay. You're learning a new skill in order for you to transition, in order for you to get a better job. Okay. So how do you get access to these job opportunities? I'm going to show you also. Now, at the end of the session, you'll get to work away with an industry relevant certification. You get to work away with an industry relevant certification. The training program is 3 months plus, okay? So that is over 12 weeks, okay? And it comes with 1 month internship, 1 month free virtual internship. Now, the key question you'll still be asking yourself is, how do I become? You said I'm going to do this in 3 months plus. Okay, how do I start? Where do I start from? How does the learning journey? How does this start? How do you proceed? How do you move to becoming a data engineer? What's the first thing I'm going to learn? Now, the first thing you're going to learn is an introduction to data engineering. Okay. Now, today we covered topics around who a data engineer is. We mentioned some new terminologies that might sound a bit vague. I went ahead to explain some of them, but this session basically will give you in-depth understanding of what data engineering is. So all the terminologies that we said today and the ones that are still pending, that's still going to be used, will be explained. All right. So when you talk about database, for example, I'm just going to explain something to you that will be covered in the data introduction to data engineering. Okay. You have database. Okay. You have what we call a data warehouse. Okay. You have a data mart. You have a data lake. You see these terminologies. You have a delta lake and so on. There are quite a number of them. Okay. So you see all these terminologies, what do they mean? What do they stand for? What's data modeling? What's a fact and dimension table? What's the difference between the star schema and the snowflake schema? What is normalization? So all those terminologies is what we are going to be explaining in Introduction to Data Engineering. All right. Now, after you've learned, you are conversant with the terminologies, you understand what data engineering is all about, you understand data pipeline, and all that ETL process and so on and so forth. Introducing it to you, we now go technical. We move into the technical. So we start to learn Python and we start to learn SQL. Then we combine them together. So you learn Python first, then you learn SQL, then you combine them together to work with Python and SQL together. So you learn them separately at first, okay? Then you now bring them together, harmonize them. So because you've learned Python by yourself, you've learned SQL by itself, you now get to bring them together in order for you to have a full grasp of how to use SQL in the Python environment, okay? Or how to use Python to write SQL, SQL queries and all that. Then from there, after you're very confident working with Python and SQL, you now move into what we call batch command and version control. And it's very important. These are very, very important things to learn, okay? Especially as a data engineer. Take, for example, version control, okay? Now, if you've ever worked on a document, okay? If you've ever worked on an Excel document, and you find out that, you close that particular file, and you find out that it did not save. You've been working for the last 2 hours, and you find out that that Excel document that you'll be doing calculation, or it could be a Word document, or it could be a PowerPoint. All that work you've done for the last 2 hours, okay, you find out that when you close your laptop or you close the application, it just went off and gone. You couldn't find it anywhere, okay? But if you're working, say for example, on the cloud, you're working in maybe Google Sheets, all right, or you're working on OneDrive, or you're working through Dropbox or something, all right, you find out that the progress is always saving. You're always saving, it's always saving by itself every second, every minute, or a few seconds, it's always saving by itself. So even if you lose that document, you can always get the previous version of that document. So even if the most recent one did not save, okay, you would always get the one that was saved the last 30 seconds ago, the last 1 minute, the last 2 minutes ago. So you see, you have a reduced chances of losing the entire document. That's version control. So as a data engineer, you're going to be building different data pipelines, okay? All right. So imagine you are updating or you're making changes to your data pipeline, okay? All right. And you find out that that small change that you made has crashed the whole system. The whole system has crashed. What would you do? Would you start to find out where the issue is? No. All you need to do is revert back to the previous state where it was, okay, in order for you to maintain status quo. So that's version control. All right. So how do you do this? Okay, you're going to work with what we call GitHub. Okay, so GitHub is an online repository. Okay, where you can actually store your codes, a repository basically where you store your materials, your codes, and so on. And you're also going to work with Linux, and that's you're going to work with batch commands. Okay, now after learning that, okay, you now enter fully into what we call data modeling. You enter fully into what we call data modeling. So you see that part where we talked about today, where you're going to be moving data from the ATM database, move data from the POS, move data from all the data sources within the bank. You can't just carry and dump it inside. You can't just carry and throw it inside. It's just like you having a wardrobe and you just open it up, you finish your laundry, and you just start taking them individually and start throwing them inside the wardrobe. Everything is going to be disorganized. So in order for you to properly structure, you do what? You fold the clothes, okay? And you put them on top of each other. The ones that have to be stayed, that has to use all hanger, you use the hanger to store them into your wardrobe, and everything is looking proper and neat. So that if you're going out and you want to wear a t-shirt, you don't have to scatter all through the place to look for where your t-shirt is. You have a particular place that stores your t-shirt. If you're looking for tie, there's one part on the left top right part of your wardrobe where you've hung all your ties. You go there and pick up the tie. You see, everything is compartmentalized and everything is at the right place. That's what you call data modeling. So that data modeling in this scenario, the data modeling means that you're keeping the data all in one, where customer data is in this place, sales data is in this place, transaction is in this place. Everything is stored properly. Okay. Everything is stored properly, but all of them still talk together. Okay, that's where data modeling comes in. Now, moving on from data modeling, you now start to go a bit deep into, certain libraries. So you get to work with what we call pandas. All right. So you get to work with pandas, you get to work with Apache PySpark. Okay. So for distributed systems, work on distributed systems and so on. Okay. Then you move into data extraction. How do you extract? How do you extract data from a data pipeline and so on? All right. You talk about data cleaning and transformation, all the things that we talked about today. So after you extract the data, you must clean it. All right. Or you must at least check if the data is clean. Okay. So you have to do all those checks. So how do you perform these checks and balances? Okay. That's what you learn in data cleaning and transformation. Now, we're going to learn cloud computing. And we're going to be working with AWS. Okay. We are going to be working with AWS. And that's very simple. How are we, why cloud computing? A lot of systems, a lot of businesses now are transitioning into the cloud. A lot of businesses now are moving to the cloud. And you'd ask yourself, why are people moving to the cloud? Why is there so much force around cloud computing? I'll explain it to you also. Now, prior to now, all of us used to go outside to watch, buy disc, CD player, okay? CD. A new series has come out. Game of Thrones is out. The last episode or the last season of Game of Thrones. You rush outside, you go to meet that person that has a store. I mean, can you still remember? You go outside to the store, somebody is selling DVD or a DVD, you buy the disc and you have like your DVD player in your house and you go inside to put your disc, you know. Does anybody still remember? Or do you guys still buy disc? I'm not sure. All right. So you want to buy Game of Thrones or you want to watch a movie, you still go and buy the disc, okay, and you use it to watch, the movie you want to watch. But you see, those things you don't really, it still exists, but you hardly find them anymore. And you don't be asking yourself, what replaced those guys? What replaced those things? You now have what we call Netflix. So rather than having a physical disc and putting it, even systems now don't even come with a disc player anymore. And that's because there's no need for it. There's no need for it anymore. All right. So rather than you going outside to buy a disc to watch a movie, you can actually just go on your mobile phone or on your laptop or on your tab, okay, and go to www.netflix.com and you can watch the movie online. So that movie that used to be in a physical disc before, that's now left being from that disc, it has left that disc format, is now in an online platform where you can actually watch it not for free. You have to pay and subscribe, okay? Unless you're using your friend's password, okay? But you can watch it for at a particular price. And you're watching it, you don't need to download anything, you don't need to do anything fancy. You can actually just go online and watch the movie. All right. So you see, how is it able to how did we transition from using a disc to watching that same thing on a mobile device or your laptop? That's where cloud comes in. So Netflix has taken that movie and said that, you know what, let's make it available in the web, on demand on the web. So they put it on the web. So rather than you buying the physical disc, you just take what? You just put it, connects to Netflix, and you can watch it for not for free. I wanted it for free. I don't know why for free is coming to now. But anyways, all of you that use, all those sites where you can watch it for free, you can go to those sites. Those sites also is the same thing. They're using cloud system to store their data and you can watch the movies for free. Okay. So that's what cloud enables. And even now, for example, you still have OneDrive. Okay. So you have OneDrive in Nigeria. You have all your documents stored in OneDrive. Okay. You travel from Nigeria to Canada. Okay. You don't need to carry a flash drive anymore. I don't think there's no need for a flash drive anymore. Well, some people still carry the flash drive around. Sorry. Some people still carry the flash drive around, but you can actually just change location. All you need is a browser and you log into your OneDrive and all the documents that you have is still available for you. Despite the fact that you've left Nigeria, moved to a new country, that same materials are still available for you. What makes you think how did OneDrive or Dropbox, how are they able to do this? It's very simple. Cloud services. Everything is stored in the cloud, on the web. Essentially, it's stored on the web. Call it cloud, or it's stored on the web, and you can have access to it. So that's cloud computing. So majority of these organizations, rather than keeping their data within the organization. So if you've ever been to the bank or any organization really, okay, you see one room that is covered, that has AC inside and has very big black boxes. Okay. There's always this screeching sound, like a humming sound that is in the room. That's the database, okay, for that particular organization. Okay, that's an on-premise database. That's an on-premise database that stores the company data. Everything is stored inside that place. So you see, when they off gen, okay, if they switch off the gen, or NEPA does their normal thing, NEPA takes lights, okay, or the electricity goes out, you find out that everybody within the organization will not have access to those documents. So you see everybody will use that one as tea break or visiting break before they switch on the gen, before the database loads and everything. So everything will stop just because the light has gone off. So sometimes they have inverters anyway, where it will always keep running, even pending the time they bring back the lights and everything. But you see that glitch, okay, is why people are moving to the cloud. So imagine there's no light, or something happens to that your data infrastructure, that your on-premise data, that your online data warehouse or data center. Okay, something happens to it. What would happen? Okay, that means nobody within the organization would have access to that particular information. Sometimes you see them in the bank say that our server is down. Okay, our this is down. Basically, it's an on-premise system that is not connected. Maybe the light has gone, something has happened, and there is no access. Nobody has access to it. So that's why a lot of systems are now moving to the cloud. Okay, so that regardless of anywhere you are, you don't need lights. You don't need internet. Okay, you need internet anyway. Sorry, you don't need light. You don't need as much resources in order for you to run your cloud platform. So that's why everybody's moving to the cloud. So you get to learn how to build data pipelines working with cloud platforms, which is AWS in this scenario. You get to work with AWS, you get to work with S3 bucket, you get to work with Redshift, Lambda functions. You get to work as a data engineer while you're learning. That's the beauty of this training program. You get to work as a data engineer, but you also get to learn what a data engineer is all about. Okay, so that's the beauty of the training program. And at the end of this training program, you become a master data engineer. But that's because all the things you need to learn, everything from ground level to the topmost level, you've learned everything. And the good thing is, it's all practical. So it's not theoretical, okay? No theory. We're going to be doing hands-on practical session where we're going to be telling you how to do these things. You will be able to perform these operations by yourself, okay? So these are this is what do you call it? A more detailed, curriculum. All right, you would get the slides, you would see all this by yourself, and you would see exactly what we're talking about. So, like I said, the first thing you're going to learn is data engineering fundamentals. You get to we get to introduce data engineering to you. Why data engineering? Data engineering concept. You see the big data 5 V's. So the best way to explain big data is what we call 5 V's: velocity, volume, veracity, value, and the fifth one is skipping my head. It's skipping my head. Database introduction, relational database, data pipeline concept, database versus data lake versus data warehouse, data mart, and delta lake. And you get to also introduce the cloud computing to you. So we move on to Python. You learn, Python programming, data types, data structures in Python. You get to work with exploratory data analysis. You get to work with HTTP versus REST, working with APIs, essentially. You get to work with JSON, you get to work with REST payloads, you get to, use Python and SQL. So you see, Python database programming. Okay, so a lot of people don't understand this. So you can actually work with SQL within the Python environment. So you get to work with Python database programming, setting up database client libraries, develop functions, connect to SQL database, DDL, DML, and DQL. That is data definition language, data manipulation language, and data query language. And these things you learn it. You think it's all technical. That's why we're here to teach you. And that's why it's starting from the granular level. So even if you don't have experience, all right, even if you don't have any experience in the space, we are literally going to handhold you and guide you. That's why you're starting from fundamentals. So you don't even know what data engineering will tell you. And you see it's a progression. That's what we are doing. All right. Then we move to SQL. You start to work with DDL, DML, DQL. All right. You won't go into batch commands and version control. Your data engineering roadmap, we'll also talk about data modeling, data pandas, Apache PySpark, and data extraction. So under this, you see all the details of all the things you're going to be learning. So it's an hands-on practical session that will take you 0 to 100 in data engineering. So you move into data cleaning and transformation, cloud computing, AWS services. So you get to work with, like I said, quite a number of services within the AWS web services. Okay. And there are quite a lot of services within AWS where you'll be learning the one that tailors to data engineering, core data engineering. Okay. And last but not least, you get to work with data pipelines and orchestration. Okay, so orchestration, scheduling, meaning that you're trying to automate your pipeline. So you see that data, the data that you're getting from the data source, you need it every day or you need it every hour. Take for example, when you're on Instagram, okay? When you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter. You see, when you're on that and maybe you've gone down a bit more, or maybe you want to refresh your page, you want to see new content. What would you do? You drag it down, okay? And you see new content just goes in, okay? New content comes in. That's what we call streaming, okay? So real time, if you want to get information about things real time within the organization, there's something we call a streaming pipeline. Okay, so you're streaming it in real time. You can see what's happening in real time. Okay, and there are also some services which comes as what we call batch processing, batch pipelines. So meaning that you're not doing this in real time, it is coming in at a specific time. You specify it. I want this to come in every 1 hour. I want this to come in every 2 hours. Okay, I want this to come in every 10 minutes. Okay, so when new data comes in, it refreshes or it refreshes every 10 minutes, every 1 hour, every day at the end of the week. That's what you call batch pipeline. So it will batch it up and bring it to you at a particular time, date and time. Okay. But streaming, on the other hand, you get to work with real-time data. All right, you're streaming it in real time. So you get to work with this kind of data. We're going to build quite a number of projects across batch stream platforms and so on and so forth. So you also get to automate it. All right, working with what we call Apache Airflow for orchestration scheduling, for you to automate your pipeline so you can run at a particular time, at a particular day, and so on. Now the beauty about this is we're going to be leveraging AI. A lot of people feel like AI is going to steal their job. Okay, but we're going to be leveraging. This training program is going to leverage Chat GPT. This training program is going to leverage Chat GPT in order for you to understand how to work with AI in order for you to get a job. I was talking to a friend of mine. He currently works with one of the top medical technology firms here in the UK. And he was recruiting for looking for a data scientist actually. Okay. And we had that conversation, and we recommended some people from analytics to take on the role. Okay, so during the conversation with him, he was saying he just wants somebody that knows how to program very fast. Okay, someone that can program very fast, that can work with ChatGPT. So if you're good with, yes, you are good with, you can program, you can do all the things, but you want somebody that can leverage ChatGPT to code faster. So yes, you might be good with programming. You might be the best programmer. Okay. So at the end of everything, how do you code fast? How do you develop? How do you solve a problem faster than the regular person is using AI? All right. So we're going to teach you how to leverage ChatGPT as a data engineer. All right. In order for you to code faster, in order for you to move faster with your applications and so on and so forth. You're also going to learn quite a lot. You're going to be learning Docker. You're going to be learning quite a number of things that you would need in order for you to be the best data engineer in the general public. All right. Now, the key question is, why should you train with analytics? Yes, I've showed you the curriculum, I've showed you how you're going to start, how you're going to end. But the key question now is, how and why should you train with us? Why would you train with analytics? Is a key question, isn't it? All right. Now, I'll tell you the reason. All right. First of all, up-to-date curriculum. So our curriculum is always revamped and updated based on recent trends. So, like I said, myself and the other professionals that we have on the team are all people that are currently in the industry. All right. So what we are doing with analytics, like I mentioned at the start of the session, is we getting experienced people, people that have experience in the field, people that are currently in the industry, bringing them in to an OG. So you see, anytime there's a new change in, the technology that is being used or the way a process is being done in the organization or in the industry itself, we are always tweaking our curriculum to switch to update with it as the trend goes. Our curriculum is going with the trend. So that up-to-date curriculum is what you will get from it. Okay. Secondly, industry experts with hands-on experience. Like I mentioned, we're going to bring in people that have experience, coming to speak with you, coming to and hold you and guide you through the process of how you can become a data engineer. So you have that industry expert, people that you barely will be able to speak to online. They will be with you in class, okay? And they will have your number, you have their numbers, you have to get to talk to them, you get to ask questions, and so on and so forth. So we also have what we call blended training delivery to accommodate everyone. Some people will say, oh, if a man, I'm a slow learner, okay? I don't know how to learn fast. I like taking my time when I'm learning. Fantastic. That's the reason why we have the blended approach to learning. So we have what we call watch me do it videos, okay, which is self-paced. It's a self-paced training program. There are self-paced videos that we have designed personally. So even if you have once you finish your live class, okay, you have access, full-time access, lifetime access to the live classes, the recorded version of the live class. But we still give you one extra bite-sized videos whereby you could just watch it in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just bite-sized videos that would explain it, those concepts you had in the live class, explain it in details, all right, in order for you to move at your own pace. All right, so I'm going to talk more about the classes anyways, but the classes are weekends. So you have Monday to Friday to watch those bite-sized videos in order for you to catch up before the next weekend class. So we have an array of services designed so that you would learn at your own pace. Okay. And I'm going to show you that as we go on. I'm going to show you the live class. I'm going to show you the class. I'm going to show you the bite-sized videos so you see exactly what I'm talking about. So even if you're a slow learner, even if you're that kind of person that doesn't get it immediately when they're saying it in class, okay, you need to go back and sit down and revisit it. Don't worry, you've come to the right place. So we have that blended training program that will still guide you. Okay. So the next thing is additional employability services. Okay. So it's not just the technical skills. So the technical skills is just, I would say, 10% of what you need to do in order for you to get a job. Everybody can learn programming. Everybody can learn SQL. Everybody can learn all these technical tools. All right. But now, the main problem and why people struggle to get a job is actually not the skills. It's how to sell themselves. That's the problem. Employability. A lot of people have skills, but tell them, ask them question about, okay, tell me exactly how you've used, how would you use this in my organization if I employ you? They are lost. They don't know how to talk. Okay, that employability services is what we offer to you also at zero cost. And I'm going to expatiate on that as we go on. And the last but not the least, virtual internship and expert review. So we talk about that. So we have that virtual internship, 1 month free virtual internship, and you have that expert review where we are going to get that expert to review your work so they can tell you what's attainable in the industry. Okay. Now, once you combine everything together, you will see you become a master data scientist, a master data engineer, I mean, okay, a master data engineer, okay? So, let's talk more about the additional employability services that we give you at zero cost, all right? The first thing is CV review, okay? You see a lot of people, I get a lot of DMs from people. Oh, if you I just finished, I just learned, I just finished, give me more projects. All right. And I'm not getting jobs. And I just asked them, could you send me your CV? Let me take a look at your CV that you're using to apply for these jobs. and it's terrible. People don't have good CV. All right. And I was in that place a few years ago. All right. A few years ago, relocated from Nigeria to Ireland. Okay. And I was applying for jobs and I was getting a lot of rejection to the extent that when I apply for the job, immediately I apply and I click on apply. I don't count up to 10 seconds. Immediately I get a rejection immediately. And I'm always wondering, why am I getting a rejection? Am I that bad? That I get a rejection just a few seconds after I click on enter, like submit. Okay. So, over time, I get to see that there's something we call ATS, application tracking software. So recruiters don't even want to stress their life anymore. Okay. So they've developed what we call an application tracking software or system that reviews CV. So if your CV is not good, you're not even getting that call. A lot of people just want that first call. Let me just even talk to you. Let me tell you what I'll do in your organization. But most people don't even get to that level. And that's because their CV is bad. They don't have a good CV. All right. So what we're going to do for you is we are going to review with your CV. So you have that one CV sessions, all right, whereby you get to review we get to review your CV and we get to work with you how to update your CV. You're in Canada, there's the way you write your CV. You're in the UK, there's the way you write your CV, so on and so forth. Those things are peculiar to industry. All right. So we're going to help you review your CV, okay, and make it industry standard. And the second part is LinkedIn optimization. LinkedIn is still one of the best places for you to get a job, okay? Especially if you're trying to transition, LinkedIn is your best bet for you getting a job because you can message the recruiter can see your profile, can see the things that you've done. Now, the thing about LinkedIn optimization is people don't understand how it works. People don't know when you say LinkedIn optimization, what does it mean? Okay, you optimize my LinkedIn for what? What's the end result? Very simple. I'll explain to you. Now, if you go on Google and you type in the best training firm, the best data analytics, data science, data engineering firm in the world, you'll likely see analytics. Okay, so I'm not optimized now. Well, anyways, ideally, you should sit analytics because we're doing a fantastic job at what we are doing. Okay. Well, you see, the search result will not show analytics there. Why? Okay. Those are the things that you need to optimize. So on LinkedIn, if a recruiter goes on LinkedIn and it types in, I'm looking for a data engineer, okay, would your profile, will it appear? That's the optimization we're talking about. If the recruiter goes online and they type in data engineer, they're looking for a data engineer, okay, will your profile will it appear in front of the recruiter? If it's a no, okay, then you need your LinkedIn profile optimized. And how do you optimize your LinkedIn profile? Leave that to us. That's why we are your best employability service. All right. We have Upwork optimization where we get to optimize your Upwork. So if you want to work as a freelancer, Upwork is a platform that allows you to work freelance. So I'm going to show that to you quickly in just a few seconds. So I'm going to type in Upwork. Okay. So you see, this is purely freelance. Okay. I'm just going to go to the home page so you see exactly what it is. So you see, find work. You see, find work for your skill. Okay. And it's going to show you jobs, find the best freelance jobs. And you can see if I scroll down to the number D, the letter D, you see data mining, data scientist, data analytics, data entry specialist, you see data analyst, DevOps engineer, you see data visualization, database design and construction. You see quite a number of data related roles there that you can actually do freelance. There are still other technical roles. It's not just data engineer until you see data engineer before you know that that's the job you can do. You see, this one here is data cleaning analyst. So those are kind of jobs that you can actually do. Anyways, we're going to optimize your LinkedIn your Upwork profile to show you places you can actually get remote freelance jobs. All right, and you can do that on your own pace. Okay, and you can earn in dollars also. They're all paid in dollars. Okay, the next part is navigating the job market. Now, as a beginner data engineer, you don't know where to apply for jobs. Okay, you don't know the kind of jobs you can even apply to. All right, you just finished learning data engineering, you could do all the skills, you could do everything. Most people go online and type in data engineer, just the word, the way it is, on the regular sites that they're used to. So if you're in Nigeria, You probably go to Hot Nigerian Jobs. I'm not sure if that still exists, or you go to other sources, okay, for you to find jobs, or other ones that are familiar to you. But there are other places you could actually get remote jobs. Okay, there are other places you can get local jobs, okay, that are specialized in niche area. So those are the things that we're going to expose to you. How to navigate the job market. There's also something we call the Eden job market. The Eden job market. How do you have access to this? All right, the Eden job market. We're going to expose these things to you. The next part is recommendation and reference letter, which is by far one of the best thing that we'll do for you. We write quite a number of reference letters for our people. We have a ton of people that are getting jobs in the UK, in Canada, in the US, back home in Nigeria, and across Africa. And you see, majority of these employers now are requesting for recommendation letter, or what we call reference letter. So you see, they're always okay. You know how to do data engineering. Can your previous organization vouch for you? Now, if you've never worked as a data engineer before, okay, your previous organization, you're a customer service representative, okay, so the meaning that they can't vouch for you as a data engineer. That's where we come in. We stand in, we vouch for you, we write you the best reference letter, we write the best recommendation letter for you to get that job, okay? So, and if you're applying for a master's or your PhD or whatever application you're going with, all right, and you don't have that experience, all right, but you're going to take, for example, your master's, all right, most master's program in data science, data engineering, and so on and so forth will require you to have worked or have learned, have like some hours of learning in a particular market, in that particular skill, all right? So we can stand in for you. That work recommendation, you can claim that work experience with analytics. So you can put it on your CV that you've worked with analytics. You can put it on your LinkedIn profile that you've worked with analytics, or you are working with analytics, and so on. So we offer you that recommendation and reference letter. Now, the other part is job interview and preparation. All right. You've never gone to a job interview, or maybe you've gone, but you've never been to a data engineering interview session before. So how, if you apply for the job, we do all these wonderful things for you. We review your CV, we review your LinkedIn, we review and optimize your LinkedIn. We tell you how to navigate the job market. We write reference letter for you. You eventually get an interview. Okay. How do you prepare for that interview? So we work with you. We prepare you for the interview. Okay. So we have mock session where we showcase, ask you likely question I'm going to ask you during the interview, and eventually prepare you, for that interview. So, and a lot of people think that interview is just going there to talk. No, it's not. It's technical. All right. Take, for example, I tell you, oh, can we meet you? Okay. How do you answer this question? Can we meet you? It's not just, oh, my name is Efemena. I'm from Delta State, Nigeria. I have 17 brothers. I have 12 sisters. I like to eat eba in the morning. That's not you. All right. So that question, let me meet you, or let us meet you, or tell me about yourself. So it might not come in that manner every time. Tell me about yourself. But people don't know this. All right. So if they say, can we meet you? You feel like it's a different question, and you start to tell your personal history about, about yourself. So these are the things that you need to know. How do you answer this question? For example, the tell me about yourself question is very simple. We have what we call the sit approach. Sit, like tell you to sit down. SEAT. All right. SEAT. All right. These are the things that you're going to go through. Now you've been wondering, if you may now tell me the meaning of sit, I won't tell you. Come for the training program. I'll teach you how to do it. Okay. All right. So also experience like scenario-based questions like, oh, tell me about a time, or can you tell me when, all this kind of scenario-based question. How do you answer it? Another acronym I'm going to introduce to you is what we call the STAR approach. This is a very popular one, so I can say this. All right. The situation, okay, the task, the action, and result. So it's an acronym: situation, task, action, and result. How do you do it? So those things are what are things that would help you get the job. A lot of people don't know this. So they feel like, oh, I can learn on YouTube. I can learn on Udemy. I can go online and learn this thing by myself. But that will not get you the job. Technical skills is just, I would say, 50% of what you need to get a job. All right. And those are the things that we're going to expose to you. So, all the things you need to prepare in order for you to ace an interview, we'll do that during the job interview preparation session. So we have weekly mentorship session where we bring in experts within the team and outside the organization. So we bring in CEO of tech firms, we bring in technical people within the organization, within the industry. We bring them to come and speak with you. People that have gone through, they understand, okay, they know where you are coming in from. They come to tell you how they got started, the loopholes, and basically guide you. All right, and take questions and basically provide mentorship, because one thing that you need in your journey to become a data engineer is mentorship. Okay, so we're going to do that for you. And last but not the least, on the job supports. Finally, you went through the interview, you know how to do the seat, the star approach, and you bamboozle the interviewer. You surprise them, you blew them off the track, and they give you the job. All right. Or you're on the first day or the first week of you being on the job, they give you a task, okay, to perform. All right. And it's something that you probably know, 40%, but remain 60% is shaky. You're not sure. All right. We provide on the job support, meaning that we can still guide you. There was a lady based in Norway. I usually share this experience because it's a very interesting one. She's based off in Norway. She got a job after they go through the training program. It was actually data analytics. And, they gave her just, I think it was the second day on the job. Okay. And they gave her a very complex task that involved a bit of advanced conditional formatting. She knows the regular conditional formatting, but something a bit more advanced than the regular conditional formatting. And next thing, she just sent me a message. We jumped on a call and I walked her through it. She was impressed. She was happy. All right. She was able to tell, she said she was the star employee for that week and they've struggled for that thing. They actually just gave it to her as you're new to the team. This is something that they didn't tell her that that's something they'd be struggling with. Okay. So they gave it to her to occupy her for that week she was there. And she did it just under a few minutes. Okay. Well, made less than 1 hour of that calling and recommending, telling you what to do and so on and so forth. So she was able to do it in about 1 hour, of doing that work. So she was a star employee, something they've been holding on to for months, I guess. Okay. And she was able to do it. And that's because of that on the job support. Okay. Somebody's always going to be there to jump on a call with you, even if you're going through challenges or you're going through something, we would be able to guide you through the process. Okay. So now, like I said, when you're applying for a job, it's not just data engineer, it's not just data scientist, or it's not just what type of jobs, what role can you apply for? Those are the key question. What other profiles can you explore? So you have data engineer, obviously. Okay. You can work as a data engineer. You can work as an ETL developer, a cloud engineer. Also, you can specialize AWS cloud engineer. Okay. Data quality engineer, analytics engineer, business intelligence developer, big data analyst. You can work as a quantitative data engineer. So these are roles that you can actually apply for once you complete the training program. So it's not until you finish. These are some of the roles you can actually apply for once you complete the training program. Okay. Now moving on to the next thing. Okay. So some of the roles working freelance as a data engineer, I'm going to come back to this, and earning dollars. So there are sites you could actually go to see freelance remote opportunities. Okay. And I'm going to show that some of the sites are LinkedIn, remote.co, Upwork, Indeed, Well Found. And I'm going to also show you built-in Glasscode. There are quite a number of them where you can actually get remote opportunities. Okay. So let me just show you. I think I'll just show you one. I'm just going to show you one. All right. So freelance, I've showed you Upwork already. So I'm just going to show you built in. Okay. Built in, going to reject, built in. So you see national tech startup. So I'm going to see, so it's built in, and you see explore remote tech jobs. Explore remote tech jobs. I'm going to click on that. Okay. And you see it here, engineering manager, digital marketing, so on and so forth. So this time around, I'm looking for data engineer. Okay. And I'm going to press enter. So you see it here, all right? Senior information data engineer, informatical data engineer. We have data engineer at work. This is Grammarly. If you're very, very conversant with the tech space, you know Grammarly. All right, so this is Grammarly, this is Lookout, this is Lookout, this is Two Barrels, senior data engineer, data engineer, data engineer, data engineer. And these are all fully remote opportunities. You can see the remote there. All right, these are all remote opportunities. And you see, everything has been updated in the last day or 2 days. This was 5 hours ago. This was 5 hours ago. This was 6 hours. This was yesterday, 2 days ago, 2 days ago. And these are all fully remote opportunities. Now, looking at the salary, some of them are quoted there. This is between $50,000 to $95,000, $60,000 to $95,000. This one at Artisan is between 136,000 to 218,000 dollars. All right, but this is for a senior role, anyways. All right, so let's just take a regular data engineer with Grammarly and take a look at what they are looking for. All right, so you see this. So when has experience with Python, so either Python, Scala, or Java. So you're learning Python, so you're good with data, you're good with Python. This is one with Grammarly. Has experience with designing database objects, exactly what we told you, what I told you about today. All right. Has experience designing and standing up APIs and services. I told you when I was introducing you to working with Python, working with APIs and so on, you get to work with that. Has experience with system design and building internal tools. You're going to work with that and applications. So these are the things that you are going to work with. See, has good knowledge of and at least some experience with AWS. Okay, so these are the technical tools that you are going to learn. All right, these are the technical tools you are going to learn. You're going to work with. So you see, those are the things that you see you will get in the industry that a lot of people don't think they can actually do, but you can learn it and you can do it. Some of them, NBC Universal, and these are just some of the places you can actually get remote opportunity. Another very good one is Wellfound. All right, wellfound.com. Wellfound.com. So you see this, I'm going to go to for job seekers. Okay. All right. I'm just going to scroll down to jobs. All right, you see over 130,000 remote and local startup jobs. Remote, these are all fully remote roles. I'm going to scroll down all the way to data and analytics jobs, and you see data engineer, senior NLP, this is senior data engineer. So these are all data related roles. So you can, if you want to, you need to sign in order for you to get all the jobs there. But these are all fully remote jobs in data engineering. All right. So there are other sites that I'm going to share with you, but I'm not going to share with you just yet. But as you go on, once you enter into the training program, there are quite a number of places you can get remote jobs. All right. Remote.co is still another place I didn't show you, but you could always go online and check it out yourself. Okay. So the internship program, okay? Okay, internship program. The internship program is for 1 month, all right? And the good thing about the internship is, like I said, you can add it to your CV. Okay, you can add it to your CV. You can claim that international work experience. All right, so we have offices in Canada, the UK, depending on the region where you are, you can claim one experience. All right. So if you're in the UK, you can claim that you have everybody's looking for everybody thinks that they need like international experience. And that's the reason why we offer this, all right, to boost that your confidence to say that okay, you have that international experience. So you can add it to your CV that you've worked with analytics, you've deployed, you've built, done all the wonderful things that you have to do with data engineering. Okay, you have also have 1 month to own your skill. So this 1 month internship, you get to work on real life projects. Okay, you get to work on real life projects. You get to collaborate with other team members. You get to collaborate with data analysts, data scientists, business analysts. So you are working in we mimic an environment of you working in an actual data engineering environment. So there's a business problem that the business analyst has discovered. Okay, the business analyst will outline all the things you need to do as a data engineer, all right, or to track the process, the project itself. Now, you, the data engineer, you get to work with how you can pull data from, API sources, from web applications, do web scraping, so on and so forth, all the things that you need to do. Essentially, the projects are industry relevant projects, things that you'll find in the industry. And I'm going to share some of those projects with you so you see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. During the 1 month program, 1 month internship, you get to work with 6 additional projects added to your portfolio and project review with an expert. So all the places you felt you did perfectly well, if there's a way you can optimize your pipeline, optimize your SQL queries, the expert is there to do that for you, all right, to tell you, to nudge you in the right path. So these are the additional benefits you get, the internship program, okay, where you have 1 month to own your skills. A lot of people feel, even after they finish learning, they still feel like they're not good enough, okay? So what we do with the internship is sort of to boost your morale, putting you in a real life scenario with minimal, supervision. How would you sustain when you say you work perfectly by yourself? Then you get that confidence that you can hit the job market. Okay. So you see, 1 month to own your skills, you have additional 6 projects that will be added to your portfolio, project review with an expert. These are additional services that we're arranging all for free. So you just go to a training program, you are going to work on this by yourself, you're going to learn by yourself. But you see, when it comes to employability, we are going to 100% go all out to get you what you're looking for. All right. So those are the things that you need to put on the back of your mind. So all we need you to do is learn the technical, but when it comes to employability, we go all out in order for you to be the best professional in the industry. All right. So moving on to, sorry, I'm moving a bit too fast. Sorry, I went backwards. Okay, so the global demand for tech talent. You see, a few years ago, all these tech paths to different countries never existed, and even if they did, it wasn't very popular. Okay, but now countries have started to see that they need to position themselves, all right, for the future. Now the IMF came up, recently, that's earlier this year, and they said what? The tech talent shortage will swell to more than 85 million tech workers by 2030. All right. Tech, tech what? Tech workers shortage is going to increase to 85 million by 2030. So what's the implication for this for countries? Okay, meaning that they won't have talent within the organization. There will be loss of revenue. You can see this, all right, potentially translate to a lost revenue of 8 trillion annually. 8 trillion annually. Now you'll be wondering, why is this important? Why are they looking for tech talent? How does tech talent affect the revenue of the organization? Let me explain it to you. Now, Gartner is a very popular source, for analytics, comparison, and all that. Says that 64% of IT executives say that tech talent shortage is a barrier keeping them from adopting emerging technology. So an organization, take for example, you're working in Nigeria, okay? All right. Some organization want to do data science, they want to do machine learning, they want to do data engineering, they want to do all this, all right? But there is no talent. So they want to adopt new technologies, they want to leverage AI, they want to do this, they want to do that, working with tech within the organization. But the reason why they can't do it is because there is shortage of tech talent. All right. Now, okay, see, the countries have now understood that in order for them to avoid this loss of revenue, all right, in order for these executives, all right, these companies or companies across the country, in order for them to get the right number of talent internally, all right, the country has gone ahead to develop tech immigration pathway for tech talent. Just like tech talent, not any other person. If you have this particular set of skills, tech skills, you can come into the country. Now, Canada has what we call the Global Talent Stream Program. Now, this is the fastest way you can get into Canada. Within what? Within 2 weeks of you receiving a job offer, 2 weeks, you get a job. Okay, within 2 weeks, you'll be in Canada. All right, so it's faster than express entry, faster than what they call it, the study route, so on and so forth. And now the good thing about it is you only need to have worked in that role for 6 months. So you only need 6 months of experience in order for you to become a global talent, to claim to go for the global talent stream program. 6 months experience. So you need to have worked in that role for 6 months. Okay. Now, United Kingdom has the global talent visa. Okay, that's Tech Nation. All right. So if you're very familiar with it, I think they posted a video on their Instagram and just a few days ago about them starting another round for global talent. So you see, a lot of these countries they are coming up with tech pathways for tech talent. Germany has its own called the Blue Card Scheme, Singapore Tech Pass Program, Australia Global Talent Visa, France French Tech Visa Program, Ireland Critical Skilled Employment Permit Program. I personally I used when I was in Ireland, working in Ireland, I was working using the Critical Skilled Employment Permit Program. Okay. So you see, these are things that they've devised, and it was far back as what this was far back as 2019 or thereabouts. All right. So critical skills employment permit program for guys that looking to go to Ireland also. So you see, these are the things that countries have devised. They've designed pathways for tech talent. So the question you need to ask yourself, people will say, "Oh, everybody's learning tech. Everybody's learning tech. Is there going to be job for me?" This answers your question. IMF, which is a recognized source, all right, reputable organization, is saying that by 2030, there will be what? 85 million tech workers shortage. Okay. So you need to position yourself properly. And also, if you're looking to relocate, this is an opportunity for you to learn a skill that is in demand and also give you the ability to qualify for these for these pathways. All right, so co-founder of Analytics, my name is Femena April. I'm one of the facilitators that will be on the program to guide you through you getting started in data engineering. We have Timmy Oluyinka, experienced data engineer. And she had 6 years experience bringing business solutions to organizations and their executives through software engineering and data engineering. She's trained over 800 professionals across the world in data engineering and has helped them transition. So she also associates with doctoral bioinformaticians in providing and developing solutions programmatically to biological data. She's an experienced professional that has experience in healthcare, technology, and e-commerce. Okay. Kelvin Oyala is an astute professional with wealth of experience in data engineering. I spent last 6 years building and helping businesses with optimal cloud infrastructure, building performance data pipeline and analytic solutions to power analytics and ML AI initiatives. Okay, so these are all experienced professionals that have wealth of experience. Obina is based off in Canada, who has a wealth of experience working as a data engineer, working as a data scientist. And see, when I tell you people that have worked at scale, so he has been instrumental in technical product support for flagship digital and retail products, generating billions of naira annually and servicing millions of customers across one of Africa's largest banking brands. So these people that have done it on a large scale that will come to teach you and work with you getting started as a data engineer. Byron is also one of the people that will be working with you. Byron is a data engineer facilitator with 10 Analytics, prior experience working as a business and data lead with Toju, which is a tech startup. Also has a wealth of experience, 6 years of experience working across multiple sectors. Ibrahim Animasha, machine learning engineer with Brand Data UK. Good thing about him is also a doctor, transition into ML engineering, data engineering, and so on. Daniel Kwanobi, also experienced data engineer, okay, facilitates for 10 Analytics, prior experience with Omdena in Berlin, currently works as a data engineer with iTex Integrated Services. All right. Now, to the cost of the training program is £500. And if I'm doing that in Naira, equivalent is 500,000 Naira. Now, like I said, at the start of the session, I have a special offer for you. Now, like I said, it's only for people that wait to the end of the session. All right. Now, the special offer I have for you, the training program is starting on the 4th of November. The training program is starting on the 4th of November, 2023. The 4th of November, that's in less than just about 3 weeks from now. Okay. Now, we're running an early bird discount. So rather than paying £500 or 500,000 Naira, it's equivalent, you can actually pay, a discounted amount. But this discounted amount is only for the first 20 people to register. It's only available for the first 20 people to register. Now, rather than pay £500, you could actually pay the discounted amount of £400 and you can pay in 2 installments. That's the beauty of it. So you can make the first payment to register, which is £300. Now the balance payment comes 1 month into the program. So you can pay the balance of £100 1 month into the training program. Okay. Now you could also pay in Naira. Okay. So rather than paying 500,000 Naira, you can actually pay 400,000 Naira, and you can pay in 2 installments. You can make the first payment of 300,000 Naira to register, to secure your position, and you can pay the balance of 100,000 Naira, 1 month into the training program. 1 month into the training program. Okay, so like I said, it's only for the first 20 people to register. Only for the first 20 people to register. So if you're looking to become a data engineer and you want us to hold you through your journey to becoming a data engineer, please, make your payment as soon as possible so that you can be amongst the people that would get the benefit of the discount that we're running at the moment, the early bird discount. So please do that in order for us to, in order for you to secure your space in the coming training program. So once you click on this link, okay, so if you want to make payment, all right, just click on this link. Click on this link. All right, you'll see it's Ebele has posted it to the chat. I have two of my colleagues on the chat, Binga and Ebele. Okay, so they've posted the link. So all you need to do is click on the link. Okay, click on the link. All right, and you would see you have this particular page. Okay, so you have the main stack page. So you have 10 analytics enrollment details. Okay, so if you want to get access to all the brochures, for example, you want to see the full details of the data engineering program, click here to get access. And you see you have the data engineering brochure, November 2023. So double click on it, and you would see it in full. So you have data engineering, your pathway to becoming a certified data engineer, and you see all the tools you're going to learn, a little bit about analytics, why data engineering, become a data engineer, and you see all the things that you will learn during the training program. All the things you learn during the training program. And some of the job titles, everything you need to learn in order for you to know more about the training program. Okay. So it's all in there. Okay. So in order for you to once you've made payment, you would see upload your initial and full receipt here. Upload your initial and full receipt over here. So once you made payment, just click here to upload your receipt. It will take you to a Google form where you can put in your name, your email, and so on and so forth. All right. So I'm just going to go back here just so if you want to make payments in Naira, we have Paystack in order for you to pay in Naira. And the good thing is you can pay your full or part payments. If you want to make your payments, either full payment or part payment, just click on the link, and it's going to take you to the Paystack link. Okay. So for data engineering, you can see it here. All right. You could pay. All right. And select all the things you need to select in order for you to make payments. Okay. So, and if you're paying non-card payments, if you're in Canada and you're looking to, or you're in the UK, this is GBP, it means Great British Pound, and you want to make payments in pounds, you could use this to make payments in pounds using PayPal. Let's just take a look at it. Take, for example, you want to make your first part payments. Okay. All right. So you could just buy now. Okay. And, select what you want to do. PayPal. All right. Click on use PayPal. And if you don't want to register, if you don't have an account and you don't want to register, you could just pay with debit or credit card. All right. All you need is continue as a guest to make payments and you're good to go. So that's if you want to make payments using PayPal or Paystack. All right. Now, if you want to do a direct transfer, we have the account number at the below, at the tail end of the main stack link that was shared. Okay, so you see the UK account details, you would see the Nigerian account details. So if you want to pay in pounds or you want to pay in Naira, in any other currency, please, I would say you should use the PayPal account or the Paystack account. Even in Ghana or you're in any other African country, please make use of the Paystack account. Okay. All right, so I think Ebele, we have someone in the house that is coming to speak. Benga also. Benga, do you want to bring the Chukuka? Chukuka, do you want to speak? Chukuka, Chukuka, are you there? We have one of our, our own participants on the call that would like to share his own experience going through the training program. So Chukuka, if you're there, you might want to unmute yourself so we can hear from you. All right.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Chukuka. Could you want to turn in the video so that everyone can get to see you also?
All right. Hello.
Yes. Hello, Chukuka. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying. Very good, thank you. So do you want to just tell us more about, do you want to talk more about the training program?
Yeah, I'm actually part of the August cohort. That's about 2 or 3 months now. I've been in the program.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah. So for those who are just on the call right now, I'll just say go for it because I don't think there's another program out there that offers the kind of value, the level of value that Ten Analytics offers. I've not seen any, and I don't think there is any. So this is like the best platform for you to get whatever tech skill you're looking for. That's basically it. There's nothing much else to say. This is just the place to be.
All right, fantastic. Thanks. You said you're in August. You've worked on, what projects have you worked on? What are you currently working on?
Yeah,
Do you want to share with us?
Yeah, we've worked on about 3 projects right now. The calculator app, the web scraper, and a few others. And it's been amazing. It's been an amazing experience, especially for someone like me who is coming like from a non-tech background. Even though I have a computer engineering degree, but like I've not had anything to do with tech before. Yeah. So
All right. Thank you very much. That's good. Thanks for taking out time on a Friday to share your experience with a group of people. What would you say about the training program? Would you say it's beginner friendly? Would you say what's your take on it? And also working with other people within your team or within the training program, would you say it's been an amazing experience for everyone? Or what would you say about that?
yes, the facilitators understand that a good number of people who are coming for this program are from non-tech backgrounds. Like they don't have any experience with. For someone like me who is into data engineering, you must code. Python is a must. So for a lot of us in my cohort right now, at least 80% of us don't have that coding background. But the facilitators like know how to break it down to make sure that everyone is carried along. Whether you are from a tech background or not, you must understand because of the way they break it down and simplify it. So for you, it's very, very easy to understand and follow along with the program. And there's another thing that I love about Ten Analytics. They actually give this feedback form where you rate your facilitator or I'll just say teachers, those who are teaching you in your class. So if you guys don't like the way like your facilitator is teaching, if he's not like breaking things down as he or she should, they can actually be changed. In my own cohort, we started with a facilitator then, but we don't like the way he was teaching his stuff. So we requested that he should be changed, and he got changed too. So they listened, and of course, they want the best for the people who register for their program. So they are basically awesome. If you are having doubts, personally, I followed before I even registered. I followed Ten Analytics for about 3 months on Instagram, attending like these sort of video sections like this before I actually paid. But assuming that like I knew what I knew now about analytics, I would have paid like in that on that first month I got to know about them. But I would just say this is like the best program out there for anyone who wants to acquire a tech skill. It's like the best program. You get more than the value for what you're paying for. Honestly speaking, you get more value than you're paying for, because their aim is not even to like. I don't think, from what I'm saying, I don't think their aim is even to make profits from all these things. Their aim is just to impact on Africans and help Africans get into the tech space, because the way they handle everything and carry everyone along, you see the passion, you see the mission there, that these guys really want to help as many people as possible get into the tech space. Like for other programs, they could actually teach you the skills. But one thing that make Ten Analytics very, very special is they also guide you on your CV, see how to properly design your CV, how to get into interviews, they even help you prepare before you get into interviews. So you see that the whole process is designed to just help you acquire the skill, land the job, and basically have a life-changing experience. That's basically it. That's what I'm
Thank
saying.
you. Thank you, Chikuka. You've done. Thank you very much for taking our time, to share your own experience, to share how you started, why you took 3 months for you to make a decision. Thank you very much for that. It's absolutely, I would say it's absolutely remarkable. Thanks for being honest and also sharing your experience with the new prospective, clients or trainers or participants. All right. Thank you very much, Chikuka. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so let me show you the platform and how it looks like. All right. I've seen a couple of people asking question on how we're able to achieve, how does it go? So we have what we call a Google Classroom. Okay, a Google Classroom. I'm going to walk you through a typical class. Okay, so you'll see we have what we call, let me just look for data engineering real quick, just a few seconds. So these are all, you can see all the training programs that we have currently. It's all in here, and you can see data engineering. Okay, so this is the one for, this is the September course. Let me just show you through the classes. So this is the classwork, and you see everything is structured, in a manner that's, you always, anytime you have issues, you can always go back to revisit. And this is where we tell you that you have lifetime access to the material. You have lifetime access to the materials and even the experts, because you would have, when I click on people, I'll show you that in a second. So once you register, and this is the reason why we're doing an early bird discount for people to register. So once you register, all right, you receive a welcome kit. So there are certain applications, there are certain things you need to download and install before the class starts. And that's why we usually like to get people registered at least a week before the training program starts. Okay, so you can get all the materials, all the things you need to learn, everything is there. You can see how to download PostgreSQL, how to work with Anaconda, and so on and so forth. So basically that welcome kit allows you to do that. So from there, we have the drop-in sessions. Okay, so you see all the weekly drop-in sessions. All right, so every week we have a drop-in session that basically enhancing on what happens over the week. All right, so you have your classes start on days and Sunday. So the weekend classes, so even as a busy professional, you could also make it for the class. So the classes happen on Saturdays and on Sunday. So now we have one day during the week, 1 hour during the week, where we agree a time for a drop-in session. So basically to just do like a status check, how has it been, what questions do you have from our previous class, are you having challenges, and so on. So that's the whole essence of the drop-in session. All right. So you'll see with this particular cohort of our 4 drop-in sessions, they started, September. You see, they all started on the 6th of they started in September. So they would have started ideally on the 2nd of September. You'd see the class there. Okay. Now let's take a look at, these are the drop-in sessions so far. Now, the first class, okay, intro to data engineering. This is an introduction to data engineering. So first class, you see the material. The material is there. You have access to the material and the video. So this is the video. You would also get access to the material, which is an intro to data engineering. Like I said, It talks about all the fundamentals. What is the 5 E's of big data? All the things you need to learn about data engineering, what it stands for, and so on and so forth. So you see, this is Byron. This is the first day. All right. So it talks about, you have access to the video. You can always watch it at your own pace, to learn at your own pace and so on. Okay. So you move from there to data types and data structures. So you after introduction to data engineering, you move into Python basics, how to code, all right, basically, learning programming with Python. So you do that also. You have the classes, all Byron is also the one taking this, and this is also another class, right? So it takes a few seconds to load, and that's just because of internet access. Okay, so it takes a few seconds. You could always you would have these videos lifetime access. I'll just give it a few seconds to boost, and that's just because it's a 3-hour video, so it takes it takes a bit of a time for it to load completely. Okay, so once you finish that, like I said, you even if you're a slow learner, okay, you have what we call bite-sized videos. So you have Python basics, data types, and data structure that you've done in class. So, most people don't want to sit down for 3 hours to watch exactly, unless you want to, you do want to watch it if you want to revisit it. All right. But what we have done now is to break down that class into bite-sized videos. So we have these data types and data structures we've, done bite-size. When I say bite-size, meaning that they are short videos that will still teach you the fundamental. Okay, we call them Watch Me Do It, WMDI videos. All right, Watch Me Do It videos. So I'm going to open this in the new tab just for you to see exactly what I'm talking about. So this one is loading, or is loaded already. So see this is it. So you see this. So this is the video. You can see this is a 3-hour video, and you can see you are programming live. So as Byron is teaching you, you're programming, you're doing the same thing also in class in real time. Okay, so you are learning on the go. Like I said, you would have that live interaction with an expert, someone that that has experience and holding you through your journey. All right. So even with that, you still have bite-sized videos. Okay, that will teach you this. So if you take a look at this is a 17-minute video. This is a 17-minute video that would explain all the things you need to learn about integer and float in Python. All right. So we call it watch me do it video, meaning that it's still going to explain all those things to you. You can see the first line here. Integer or integer, okay? Int or integer is a whole number, positive or negative, without decimal or unlimited or of unlimited length. Okay, so all these things are still taught. Even though you have the live class, you still have bite-sized videos that explain it faster and in a shorter duration. All right, because the live class, you have people asking questions, you have people sharing their screen if you have errors and so on. All right, but this bite-sized videos basically go to the point. It hits the nail by the head. So you're always going to, even if you're a slow learner, you will always get value. And you see, we have integer, variable assignment, strings, print formatting, and so on. So you have we have weekly challenge. Okay, this is week 1 challenge. You have the CV review. You can see these guys started on the 2nd of September, and their first review was on the 9th of September. So you see, we start early enough because we want you to understand. We want you to, before 3 months, we want you to be able to start applying for jobs and even get jobs. Do you understand? So you see, this is a Medium article. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to see if I can view some of them. All right. So you can see on the Medium article, and you can see some of them sharing it on Medium. So this is Olayinka. I'm going to close this so I don't close this. So you see, this is basically them writing an article. And before you finish, you would have written several articles. You would have had, online repository of your work. So you see, this is the classroom essentially. This is how everything is stored, and you have all your material. You have lifetime access to the material. You have lifetime access to the materials. So you see the classes are recorded, you have your materials, you have the videos, you have everything you need. So you have the live classes, but you still have additional material. You have live classes, you have materials, and you have additional material, and you still have people on the team that will work with you. So if you're looking to get started, this is the best time for you to register to be a part of this session. All right. Some people have questions in the chat. I can see what certificates did you get after a successfully data engineering training program? So you get a master data engineer certification. All right. So you get a certificate from Analytics certifying you as a data engineer. All right. So someone's asking about the time for the classes. So it's Saturdays and Sunday. On Saturday, it is between the time. So on Saturday, I'm going to write it down here. So Saturday, all right. Saturday is between 11 in the morning. All right. Sorry, I'm just going to erase this real quick. It's a bit too big. All right. So Saturday, all right. On Saturday, it is between the time of 11 in the morning, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So that is what? 3 hours on Saturday. And on Sunday, okay, it is between 2 p.m. in the afternoon to 5 p.m. Another 3 hours on Sunday. All right. So Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sunday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So weekends, you can see the timings are very considerate. You know, you don't have to wake up very early to start a class, or you don't have to be, Saturdays 11 to 2 p.m. You can still make events if you want to make out for events. Sunday after church, after you've gone out for a religious practice, you can always make it for 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and still learn. So you still have enough time to learn even on the weekend. So you have a total of 6 hours during the weekend, and you have what we call a drop-in session during the week, which is just 1 hour during the week, just for status check. If you have questions, if you have concerns, you will still have access to all that. So that's basically the timing that we have for the classes. All right. So if you have questions, you can raise up your hand. I'm going to take some questions. All right. But before, you need to secure your position. Like I said, this particular session, the early bird discount is only for the first 20 people to register. Only for the first 20 people to register. So who is going to join me in the session? That's a very important question. And I'm looking forward to having you guys, to be honest with you. All right. So if you have any question, if you don't want to unmute yourself, you can ask your questions. You can raise up your hand. I will unmute you, and you can ask your questions. All right, Charles. Let me take Charles. Then I'll take some questions in the chat again. Charles, I'm gonna ask you to unmute yourself. Yeah. So Charles, go ahead, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Charles.
everyone. Oh, currently I'm running one of your course, financial analytics.
Okay.
And with running this one, will there not be clash of time?
I can't honestly, 100%. I can't say you should do that. Okay. So financial analytics and data engineering, they are very immersive in the sense that it's going to involve a lot of learning. So it's going to be too cumbersome for you, okay? For you to do the two programs,
I have
concurrently.
to hold on.
Yeah, you have to. No, I won't advise. We don't advise you to do two training programs at the same time. Okay,
Okay.
it's very immersive. Trust me, it's very immersive. And you can know from your own classes, your assignments, your projects, your learning, your classes. It's quite enough. It's enough for you. So once you finish with that and you want to pursue further, then you can call me for this. But you have to finish
Also,
on. Yeah.
a suggestion. What about in the near future, analytics brings in, because major things about analytics is just data. Bringing in maybe cybersecurity, bringing Google Cloud and all that, so that people can still diversify a little. Yeah, I mean, I'm not into tech, but tech is my passion over the
Okay.
years, and I want to do tech-related jobs remotely.
Okay.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
going with the analytics and to be able to improve myself over the time. Even I had to leave one of my jobs because I didn't have enough time to be able to run where the locations. I'm oil and gas anyway,
Okay.
and most of my locations with him in the past were remote areas where we hardly get network. So even when I knew about the analytics, I couldn't enroll for any of the classes until recently. I had to resign that job to be able to come out into the city and then get another job that I'll be within the town and have network for some of these trainings and a follow up. So maybe I'm eager to just swallow everything as I'm getting it and update myself.
All right. Yeah, I totally understand you. And so yes, we are. So we don't just pick training programs. We pick training programs that are in demand. But the key thing for us is we don't want you to learn a skill and you find it difficult to get a job. Okay, so a lot of the tech skills are out there whereby you learn it, and because of the buzz, you feel like you're going to get a job, and you find yourself struggling to get a job. And that's the reason why we specialize in training programs that we know that once you complete, you are likely going to get a job. Okay,
Okay.
because there is a demand for it. We know where the demand is. We can point you in the right directions and so on. And that's the reason why we focus on the career paths that we focus on. All right. The key thing for us is to get more Africans into the tech space. So it's not just upskilling Africans. Okay. It's not just about upskilling, it's about getting you into a job. And that's why you see our employability services is over 100%. All right. With the CV review, link optimization, everything is designed so that you can get a job once you finish, even before you finish the training program. Okay. So yes, we're looking at extending our training services next before the end of the year next year. Okay. So we are currently running current diagnostics of industries. So even let me just show you, I think we actually give it to our what do you call it, our data engineer class. Okay, so let me just look for the growth internship program. So this is the growth internship program. Okay, so let me look for the first no, this is not the one. I'm looking for one of the internship program, September joint. This is joint one. Okay, this is September. I think it was in July. FSDS and DE. So let me see this. Let me see. All right. So we usually do. Let me see. All right. This is it here. All right. So what we're doing, we do what we call, job analysis. So we actually give this. This was a project for the internship guys. Okay. You see, it's combined. It's a combined session, full stack data science, BA, and data engineering. All right. So let me show you the task. What was required for them. So UK job post analysis and reports. Okay. So this involved the business analyst, data science, and data engineering. Now you see this in this report, participants will work together to web scrape UK job sites for analysis. The aim of this project is to develop a data scraping and analysis system that collects job-related information from various job boards or job sites, websites, and applying data analysis techniques, blah, blah, blah. The whole objective of this project is we want to see the jobs that are in demand, that are always in demand. Okay, and also want to know the technology that is being required. So you see, initially we never used to do SQL, we never used to do Power BI and Tableau. We focused on Power BI because at that time where we started, Power BI was in demand. All right. So over time, we're always doing this analysis in order for us to see what is required. So now a lot of businesses now are looking for Tableau, somebody that has experience in Tableau, not for the use of Tableau, all right, but to what they call it reverse engineering. So they have their reports in Tableau and they want to move it to Power BI. Okay. So they need somebody that has experience in Tableau, okay, and has experience in Power BI and can move through the reports that were in Tableau before into Power BI. So those are the things that we noticed that a lot of organizations were doing. They were migrating from Tableau to Power BI, and they needed somebody that had experience in Tableau. So you see, that's the reason why we added it to the job. All right. So that's what we do. So this particular one, that's exactly what this role was. And you see, the role of the data engineer basically is to web scrape, okay, for job boards. Okay. So if they post today, okay, we should have that. We should have the data. We should have those job posts in our database. So let me show you. I will just show you the reports. So they have like a weekly catch up, okay, to walk us through what they've done so far. So we have experts on the call that would also tell them what to do, what not to do, so on and so forth. So you see, Let me just show you the final presentation anyways. Let me see. So they are in groups. So they have different groups. Like there were 5 groups, and they were able to submit all the reports. So let me see. This is just the internship. This is the video of the class. If you please, it takes a few seconds. Just that's because of the length of the video. Essentially, these are the kind of projects you get to work on. So we don't just pick any training program. Oh, people are saying learn cybersecurity, pick it and start training people on it's the demand. We need to understand the job market. We need to understand the demand. Where can you get jobs in this particular skill if you learn it? So those
So
are the
going with
things that we look at.
analytics and the financial analytics is a good one for me. And I want to say thank you. I'm just a week old with analytics.
Okay.
Last week Saturday, tomorrow makes it.
A
But
week,
I
yeah.
want, yeah, you guys, from what I've gone through, the follow-ups, the videos that you guys dropped on the Google class, they are wow.
Okay.
I want to see you guys are doing a good job. Anyone on the call currently and thinks he wants to upskill their skill in tech, in Excel, for the one I've seen, the lectures or the classes are very, very explanatory. Yeah, they are top notch. Thank you so much. You guys are doing a good job.
Appreciate
I'm
that
proud.
big time. This is your class here. Okay, this is financial analytics. All right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So thank you. Really appreciate that. All right. So thank you very much, Charles. Let me say I like the way you are taking your time to explain. I hope the class instructor is as good as they're better than me, I would say. They're way better than me. I'm still a beginner. All right. So let me see. That's Agogo, Miguel. Okay. All right. Michael is saying, can one pay the total at once, or it must be the registry? You could pay at once. All right. You can actually pay the complete fee at once rather than paying in installments. You can actually pay at once. Okay. Sorry, I keep moving very fast. Okay. So Aziz is saying, if I make payments now, please confirm how I have to upload evidence of payment. Very simple. All you need to do is click on the main stack link. So this link here, all right, it's currently in the chat. So click on the link, okay? Once you click on the link, okay, it's going to open up in your browser, okay? Payment details. So you see it here, upload your initial and full receipt here. You see it here, initial and full payment. So if you make initial payment, you can click here to drop your receipt. And if once you make payment, just click here to upload. So you to ask you for your name, your email, your first name, last name, just regular details and all that. And once you click, initial payment, okay, you select your gender, your last name. I'm going to just put IK. First name, obviously, you want to write your name in full so that we can have that. Email address, I'll say IKPRO, okay, at analytics.io. Just for me to move on to analytics.io. Okay. All right. So I'll press next. Okay. I need a registration email. Okay. I'll just copy this. Just copy it. Save. So you need a Gmail for this. So I'll just put it there. All right. Then terms and condition. Obviously, you can click here to read the terms and condition. All right. The document, just a brief document that gives you brief terms and condition of the application. Next, then you see here, add file, add file. So once you click add file here, then you can select your Google Drive or from your drive. So you can upload directly from your drive and you're good to go. All right. So that's how you can upload the the screenshots or the proof of payment. All right. Any other question? Let me see. Is there any other question? If I make payment now, what's that I call are there professional exams to write? Zero professional exam. Zero. Like what I think zero. Zero. Big zero. Okay. No professional exams to write. Would you recommend data engineering over data related competencies, that is data science and data analytics? Now, it depends on what you want to achieve. I really don't recommend, I don't like to recommend, and that's because a lot of people I don't know I don't know the kind of person that you are. Okay. If you are that person, you're a go-getter. Trust me, data engineering is something do you know what I would show you? Like I do more of contract work here in the UK. So there's something we call job serve, and I'm just going to show you so you can make a decision by yourself. Okay. So job serve is for guys that are looking for majorly contract roles here in the UK. So now I'm just going to go with data engineer and I'm just going to search for data engineers. Okay. So data engineers earn considerably more and that's what our discussion for today. That was literally our discussion. So you see this, all right, £350 per day. Okay. £350 per day. This is 275 to £300. This is 50,000 to 60,000. These are all contractual positions. All right. This is data engineering like 60 to £70, 60,000 to £70,000. All right. And these are all data engineer roles. You could go to any other website. I think Reed is another very good place for you to get, jobs and all that. So I'm not sure why that is coming out. All right. So if I check on data engineer, for example, again, all right. So the jobs are available. That's the key thing I should have on the back of your mind. The jobs are available. All right. The pay is great. Okay. But you need a little bit more for you to sit down and learn. Okay. Sit down and practice because it's really practice that will get you that new role that you're looking out for. All right. So all the things that we talked about today, literally all the things that we talked about today, ETL/ELT. ETL is extract, transform, and load. ELT is extract, load, and transform. So proficiency in Azure Data Factory, you will learn that of AWS, and most times they usually go with anyone, or as long as you have cloud experience, it's usually preferable. All right, strong SQL skills, cloud architecture, and data lake experience, so on and so forth. We offer remote first with Monday meetups in Bristol. So that's if you're based in the UK. All right. So these are jobs, and like I mentioned, yeah, I don't like to recommend because I don't know your intensity. I don't know how you want. I don't know how the kind of person that you are essentially. Okay, and that's the reason why I don't like to recommend. But the opportunities for data engineers are immense. Okay, very immense. So you might want to try it out. Is the certificate recognized? 100% it is recognized, and also your experience is even way more recognized. All right, and the reason why I'm saying your experience is way more recognized is because you're going to be learning the in-demand tools, in-demand technologies in order for you to perform these data engineering activities. Okay, so all the things you need to learn in order for you to become a data engineer, you will learn every single thing. So, from certificates to your experience. So we're going to give you that experience. That's a good thing. So you see, let me just go back to that job site. So you say exactly, oh, I've closed it. All right. So I'm just gonna go back. Let me just go back. Let me just go to LinkedIn this time around. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna go to LinkedIn. All right. And I'm gonna go to jobs. Let me use jobs this time around. And I'm gonna use data engineer. Okay, data engineer. And you see, I want you to show me where they ask you to bring your certificates. Okay, so let's look at the first one here. Data engineer BJSS. All right, so let's look at this. Okay, some of the perks, these are some of the perks. Okay, this is what about you. You are an engineer at art. You have good understanding of coding. You have experience writing well tested. You have experience with CI/CD, all right, tools. So you have good understanding of design choices. You have experience. Do you see certificate here? No certificate. No. Let me look at another one. If you might feel like, oh, that's just one of it. Let's take a look at another one. All right. So let's say this is about you again. You have several years of experience. You like working. You enjoy getting involved in every stage of the engineering life cycle. All right. You have understanding of data, distributed system concepts, and familiarity with data mesh architecture would be beneficial. Any certificates in this one again? Any certificates? You must have a certificate from where? Do you see there? No. Let's take a look at another one. You might feel like it's just two. All right. So further tools, salary up to 60K. Let me see about this job. I have placed a few data engineers here now. All right. So this is a recruiter. So definitely this hacker job. All right. These guys are also very good. Benefits. These are benefit opportunity to. I'm looking for one that has like outline of job details. All right. Your role includes this skills, experience, and understanding, experience, hands-on experience, familiarity with big data infrastructure, practical knowledge, working environment, working knowledge of containerization, knowledgeable. They're going to work with containerization also. We're going to be working with Docker. Okay, so that's still part of what you will learn. All right, excellent and practical data programming skills. Okay, with experience in different programming like what or Python. You're going to be learning Python. You have experience delivering project data. So where did you see certification in this particular place? See, you see, one of the major misconceptions and why a lot of people are not transitioning because they feel they need a certificate. They need a certificate to certify them. To certify them. I don't have any certification. Let me show you my profile so you see exactly what I'm talking about. And you see, I think some of the places I've worked, I don't really update my LinkedIn as much as I want to, and that's because I'm always moving from one place to the other. So I do a lot of short-term gigs nowadays, so I don't do. So this is an analytics followers on LinkedIn, which is about 13,000 followers. All right, we need you, so you're followers. So let me show you my profile. Okay, I don't have any certification, just education. You see it here. All right. When I was doing management consultant, okay, so I had that management consultant, and it was free of charge. All you need to do is just have experience as a management consultant. That's it. So education is all I have. But does that mean I've not worked with some of the top firms across the world? Yes, I have. All right. So you see me here, and I'll still show you some other people's profile. Okay. So I worked as a management consultant, moved there to data science, moved there to DPD, worked at DPD. I worked as a data science in Vastmind, global business system analyst. So now I just do a lot of contractual position, all right, here in the UK. All right. So work with them, SMEs to top multinational organization. So let me show you another one participant that got a job. What's his name again? I think I'll have to show his profile. Idris. Uh, what's his full name again? Can't remember his full name. I just want to show you that. So you see that certification, all of you that are looking for certification. All right, yes, this is it. Idris and DBC. Idris and DBC. All right. And I want you to tell me where you got certification, where you got a certification. Idris and DBC currently works with, with Jaguar Land Rover. Okay, data engineer. All right. And you can see it here, highlights. You both worked at analytics. So let's see. All right. So you see, it was working as a data engineer with what? Analytics. Just the same way we tell you you can claim work experience with analytics. He took that experience and what? He got what? He got a job with Jaguar Land Rover. Where? Coventry, England, UK. All right. Certification. Any certification there? Do you see certification on this profile? Zero. So you could just see some, and all that. Just all online certificates and all that. So it's the what do you call it? Is the job. It's your experience that gets you the job. All right. And that's how you see what you see our people. You see Chizoba had an interview. Okay. All right. Byron, one of our facilitators, prepared, Chizoba for the role or for the interview. I see. Hi Billy. Billy is currently on the call. I'll probably get back to say hi to you guys. I got a job, just waiting for a formal confirmation. All right. Got the job where? NHS UK as what? As a data engineer. After what? After the training with analytics. Okay. So these are the things you get to learn that it's not certificates. Scrap it from your mind. Nobody will say that, oh, we need to give you a job as a data engineer, but you need to get a certificate. What certificate do you need? It's experience. And that's the reason why I'm taking out time to show you on the job boards. Where do they write? You need a certificate to get this job. All right. Idris is another person, one of our brilliant staff, went through the full stack data science program, trying to work as a data engineer with Jaguar Land Rover. Same thing with, Nate. Nate is based in the US, okay? Got a job in the US as a data scientist. This is also a bit Ebube. Also got a job with the NHS, data scientists, regulatory data analysis, Sunday and Lucy. You see, these are people that have gone through, that have just gone through the training program and are currently working as data engineers, data analysts, and so on. So you see, there are quite a number of these people that have gone through, and we have a ton of testimonials that we can share with you for you to see that you don't need a certificate to get a job in the industry. We've done it several times and we'll continue to do it. So trust me, you don't need a certification to get started. Okay, so for someone who is not familiar with computer, be able Moto G8. If you can watch a movie online, if without the help of anybody, you can switch up a laptop, you can switch it on, you can navigate to where the folder is, you can double click on it, you can use open with, you can write a project on Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, you can do PowerPoint presentation, then that's your computer literate. You can operate a computer. So all you need is the interest. That's what I would say. And you're going to be fine. Absolutely fine. Moto G8. So Emmanuel, when is the session starting? The session is starting on the 4th of November 2023. 4th of November 2023. That is just about 3 weeks time. The training program is going to be starting. Okay. Can a data engineer work as a data scientist or data analyst? Very good question. So they have different stack. When I say stack, it means the tools that you get to work with. It's like saying, can a palm white tapper work as a farmer? It's possible. Okay, he has some digger, he has some appliances or equipment that can work as a farmer, but is it going to be efficient? The answer is no. Okay, so those are the things you need to take into consideration. There's a reason why there's what we call specialization. Okay, there's a reason why you have stack tools, equipment that you get to work with. So you can try to do the job. But are you going to be efficient at that job? Likely not. Okay, but and that's why you have several roles within the data engineering ecosystem. So you have business intelligence developer, or what we call business intelligence engineer. These people, you can take on those kind of opportunity. All right. You have ETL developer, you have cloud engineers, you have data engineers. These are some of the roles that you can actually take on. So not that you can't do it, but it's just that you are not going to be great at it. Okay, you can be better at a data analyst at his job, if that makes sense. All right. So if you're looking to get it started, this is a discounted amount. So don't think even the next 2 weeks, the price changes to the original fee of £500 or 500,000 naira. Please don't say that it's an early bird discount. So if you want to start now, this is the best time for you to register. Okay. There's no job in Nigeria that will guarantee you that would ask you for a certificate. There is with certification. Bernie, if you want to unmute yourself and tell me the certificate a recruiter will be asking you to get in Nigeria. Do you know people that have gotten jobs in Nigeria that I don't even know what certificate you're even looking for, to be honest. All right. Are there age limits to learning this? Zero. Zero. That's the reason why I'm going to this job site, so you can actually see for yourself. Okay, I was just on LinkedIn, so I'll probably go back to LinkedIn. So I show you again. Nobody's going to put, you must be between the age of 70 to 40. Or, nobody's going to ask you that. So let me just go here again and type in maybe data engineering, data. Okay, data engineer. Okay. All right. So you see it here, data engineer, data engineer, data engineer. All right. And you see it here. You see data description, hands-on development with IBM, hands-on Kafka for streaming processes, so on and so forth. You see, no age. Nobody's asking for your age. All right. The only time they need year, all right, is your years of experience. Okay. And with that, don't worry. During the navigating the job market, we show you how to navigate through all these 2 years, 3 years, 5 years experience, even though you don't have those numbers of years experience. And that's why people struggle. Because someone that doesn't have 5 years experience now will say that, I don't have 5 years experience. How would I be able to apply for this job? I can't get a job. Every job I'm seeing has 2 years experience, 3 years experience. How was I able to get a job, in the tech space without even having prior experience? And then everybody's telling you you need 2 years experience, you need 5 years experience, you need this, you need that. How do you man over that? And that's why you say people that learn by themselves, they will tell you it's impossible for you to learn it in 5 days or in 3 months. All right, they will tell you it's impossible because they've tried learning by themselves and they're going on YouTube. As they go from YouTube, they will buy one course on Udemy, they will manage it with one free resource on YouTube, and at the end of everything, they are half baked. Even coupled with that fact, they don't even know how to write a good CV. They don't know how to prepare for an interview. So you see, these are the issues. Or if they see a job like this, they'll feel like, oh, they don't have 5 years experience. They are moving to the next one that doesn't specify how many years experience on the job that they want. So these are the things that you don't understand, okay? And that's where we help you. And that's why that's other 50% on employability will help you a lot, okay? And that's where we are the OG to get you what you're looking for. All right. So no age limit. Olawale, Kolawale. No, zero age limit. These companies, do they pay the same amount to remote workers in third world country as those? So most likely they usually pay slightly lesser. Okay. And that's just because they know they're looking for cheap, they're looking for, they're trying to cut costs. All right. Well, to your own advantage, I guess, because if you're earning, we have one of the participants got a job in the US just under a few weeks ago, and guess what? Salary is $3,000. Okay, do the conversion. I think $1,000, 3,000 now is about. I think the exchange rate to the dollar is about 1,000 naira. Okay, so that's about give or take 3 million naira. Okay, every month. So now in the US, that role will never go for 3,000. Will never go for 3,000. All right. We have some of them working also in the US, any 2,515. Well, that's still a good 1.5 million when you convert it, or 2.5 or 2 million. So we have people that are working remotely based in Nigeria. We have some of them working in Ghana, or they're Ghanaians. All right. So we have, I think, just one lady that I know personally, though, that is in Kenya working with one of the reputable NGOs. Okay. Also earns in dollars. Okay. So you see, well, when you do your conversion to your exchange rate, it sort of favors you. Do you understand? You're still earning more than what a regular person would earn, in Nigeria at the moment. A data engineer in Nigeria, at least to the last person that I prepared for an interview with, the net salary was a millionaire. The net, like take home every month, was a million. After tax and everything was 1 million naira. Now you could get that same role in the US and they're likely paying you 2,500, $3,000. And that's 2.5 to 3 million naira for almost the same work. And this is fully remote. You don't even have to go into the office. So these are the opportunities that we are going to expose to you, all right, that you get more familiar with. Okay. So yes, yeah, it's likely going to be cheaper, and that's because they know that you know, Aziz, I just made payment and uploaded the evidence or start back for the next step. 100% start. So it takes us just about 24 hours to confirm your payment. All right, and we send you. You should have received an email automatically once you make payment and you upload the receipt. It will confirm and send you the communication from there on. All right. You can check me out on LinkedIn. You can check me out on all social media platforms. My name is Ifemena everywhere. So we've been doing it for the past 3 years. We have a wealth of experience training and helping people better. Let me just show you some of our success story from last year. What really propelled us for this year was what we did last year. We did fantastically well. We helped over 300 people, okay, across the world transition into their first job. Now, the beauty about this, all right, is these guys had zero or no experience. No, there was a lady that I'm very proud about. She currently works with one of the top consulting firms in the UK here. All right. And she was baking like from university to getting married, he has always been a baker. All right. She moved to the UK with a family. This was just last year. It was 2022. She moved to the UK with a family last year. All right. So baking wasn't moving as much as it used to move in Nigeria, and that's because obviously the barriers, and people not just getting to buy cake, birthday cake, employee, in Nigeria, but they do cake every time. Do you understand? So the business was booming in Nigeria, but moving to the UK, she found out that it was a bit restrictive. She wasn't getting as much contract as she used to get in Nigeria, and she was looking to get into the workforce. She had no experience. Okay. And she was able to get a job in one of the top technology consulting firms in the UK. All right. And now, and that's part of the 300 people that we talked about for last year. I think we're doing a lot more this year because we've reached out to a lot more people. A lot more people have transitioned this year. All right. So we've helped quite a number of people, and with this movement, all right, we got featured on different. These are some of the organizations our people now work with. All right, so with this, we got featured on different dailies, different news platforms. So you can see on Business Day, Analytics help Africans across 4 continents land tech jobs. Okay, you see it here, 5 Africans win big in analytics, data analytics hackathon. So we host the largest. Every year we do it. So it's a yearly thing for us now. We host it, one of the largest data analytics hackathon where people get to win big. All right. So last year we did 1 million naira. So the top 3 participants won 1 million naira. So PR Fire, I think this is one that really stood out to us. PR Fire is a Europe-based platform that in Europe news platform. And they also wrote about us saying that Analytics reiterate commitment to help Africans get tech jobs in Europe. All right. So these are the things that we are doing. Okay. And on Nigeria needs myself and Adeza, we got featured on the Punch, also the Punch newspaper. Nigerians need to make data-driven decision. All right. So how do you do that? You can read the articles. Everything here is linked. So once you get the link or you get the material, you can click on the link to read more about all the things and all the features that we've gotten. So you see, we have a track record, all right, and we've been recognized for it across different platforms, across different continents, not just within Nigeria, all right, across different continents in Europe, in Africa, we know what we are doing. So if you want to be a part of the team, you want to transition into tech by next year, this is the best time for you to get started. All right. So November, this is starting on the 4th of November. And like I said, it's only available for the first 20 people to register. Only available for the first 20 people to register. All right. All right. No problem. So we have master classes the next couple of weeks. For the rest of the month, we are as long as you're on the WhatsApp group, we have a line of classes coming up. So what I would say is if you're not following us on LinkedIn, so on LinkedIn, our platform is Analytics. You'll see it here, Analytics. All right. So Analytics, you come here, you would see everything that has to do with Analytics here. So we're usually posting our activities, all the things that we need to, all the training programs that we're doing, all the master classes. So if you want to know more about data analytics or data science, we usually will post it on our platform. Or you could also check us out on Instagram. Okay. All right. You can also check us on Instagram. Okay. It is Analytics on Instagram. Okay. So on Instagram, you can check us out. Okay. And this is, our Instagram page. So we'll keep you updated. So you see, this currently is happening also, 14th. Okay. So this is happening, exploratory data analysis with ChatGPT. And currently we have Stargirl, Brahima, and Stargirl, Damilola, Ajimobi, and in the session. These are all, analytics, experience senior data associate with analytics and in the session. And this is why data engineers are being paid more. You see, it's always going to be broadcasted on all our social media platforms. All right. So you see, everything is there. Okay. We had a session yesterday. How hard/easy is it to switch to a data analysis career? So just follow us on all our social media platforms. You get updated. And if you're on the WhatsApp group, you can also join us on the WhatsApp group. Okay. So you can join our solid members, over close to 40,000 people on Instagram. On LinkedIn, we have over 13,000 followers. All right. So everything is posted on us. So just follow us on all social media platforms and you will always stay updated with what we're doing. Okay. So, anyways, this is where I'm going to draw the curtain for this evening. So, like I said, please, if you want to be part of this, please, register now. Register now. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And this is where we're going to call it a day. So if you've had a wonderful day, you've enjoyed yourself today, just going to give you permission to unmute yourself. Okay. I want to hear a resounding yes. Did you enjoy yourself, guys? Let me see. Let me hear.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, amazing. Looking forward to having you guys on the call,
Yeah,
joining
yeah.
the
Yeah.
session.
I have a question which you didn't answer.
It's great.
Okay. Who was that? Sorry, Emmanuel?
Kolawole.
Olawale. What's that? What's the question? Age?
Yeah, I was asking that when is the next session, should in case I couldn't meet up with this session, I'm going to start 4th of November.
All right, the training, we run it every month. So we're likely going to be having one in December. Okay. So the only thing I cannot guarantee is the price. Okay. The only thing I can't guarantee is the price, but we should have a training program running in December. So November, we're having one on the 4th of November. Then we have another one in December, first Saturday in December, if that makes sense. So does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. All right, guys, thank you very much. I had a wonderful time. You guys are the best people that very interactive, very engaging professionals. Thank you very for taking out time on the Friday to listen to me. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend and see you some other time. Cheers, everyone. Bye. Have a great weekend.